There's not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday.
Oh, I felt
Oh, the bell. Bell didn't wake up yet.
Nope.
Oh, well.
5 more minutes.
Yeah, you gave it a good wackadoo. It did make a noise.
I did. You let me down, Bill.
There he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Dime short and a day late, bud. Well, happy Tuesday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you're having a delightful day so far. Kind of nice out.
Yeah.
You know, it's 34, but it feels warmer than that with the sun.
I was going to say, it felt weirdly warm this morning. I think it's because I walked outside and wasn't instantly had my breath taken away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yesterday, 70s and breezy.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't so bad. We got another nice day today, a little breezy, but not like yesterday breezy,
right.
So it should be all right. And then it gets cold after this, but enjoy another 71 degree day. By cold, it's like 50.
Yeah.
It's not like 30s. Yeah, we're going to go drop into the 50s. Like tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, and I think Saturday, kind of.
I think the worst is
Yeah, Saturday's 59,
Yeah.
so.
Worst is mostly behind us. I mean, we're not, it's going to slowly trickle back up. We're heading towards springtime.
We are ever slow closer to March.
How are we already this close to March?
Because February's short.
Yeah, I know.
28 days.
It just feels like,
We're already in the, what was it, the 22nd today or something like that?
Time is just flying. Like,
Another week, we're done. Mm-hmm. Which, we're another week away from municipal election, all of that good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Which
1 week from today.
Which will go hot and heavy with candidate visitations and meet and greets and what
Couldn't
have
help
you.
but notice your bookings are pretty solid this week.
It is a week of filled slots. Yes, it is. We're actually going to have two candidates, municipal election candidates, join us on La Radio today. Margaret Kinnard, who's running, who's currently the city councilor in Ward 2, running for re-election. She will be joining us here at 7:15 this morning. And then next hour, an 8 o'clock hour, Alicia Gilmore. She's a candidate for city council running in Ward 4. She will join us here at 8:15 this morning, and we'll chit-chat with her.
Very good.
And then in 9 o'clock hour, we'll take a break from municipal election, and we'll talk Camp Invention.
Ooh.
Which is, I know we're February.
Yep.
But
It comes
a
up
couple
quick.
couple months here in June. They'll start up Camp Invention 2022.
Start planning now.
And Peggy Boland will join us here and give us I'm guessing they have a theme set up and everything for this year's Camp Invention, and now we'll just get folks to sign up. It's pretty good deal. They especially. It was especially awesome during COVID, where kids weren't going to school regular, and so they get to do the Camp Invention. Last couple years, they've been doing a virtual and in-person version. I don't know how this year's going to look, if it's all in person, or we'll find out from Peggy. But yeah, it's a great camp, and I invite you to stick around the 9 o'clock hour and listen to all the details about Camp Invention, especially if you got children elementary age. I think they even go up to like maybe 6th grade or something like that, early part of middle school too, for like a...
While their brains are still malleable.
Yeah, well, it's like a CIT program for the middle school kids. So they're kind of like the camp is geared towards elementary, but the middle school are like CITs. They learn stuff and do stuff, but they also serve as, helping the counselors
Assistants.
with the projects and the things like that. So, but anyway, we'll talk more about that with Peggy in the 9 o'clock hour.
Very good.
Oh, there's something I was going to mention, and I just completely forgot what it was. Something not important.
It just flutters out of the brain.
Yeah, something like TV or something related. I was going to oh, yeah, I saw this.
It's funny.
You forgot what it was.
You've recently started watching Always Sunny.
I have.
From the beginning, which...
I'm about 9 episodes into the first season now, something like that.
Props for holding out as long as you did, because, I mean, for as much talk as that show's gotten, all the memes and stuff, you've held out for quite some time.
It just never... And it was one of those things, like, I think I've seen, like, parts of an episode. Hey, I forgot to turn my my ringtone
Hey, what happened?
I don't know. It's a call that I don't recognize, but I can't answer because I'm busy.
But what I was going to say is, you came to a conclusion yesterday, which is these people need to be in prison.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I watched, like I said, and it's a funny show. Laugh. I've seen bits and pieces over the years, but I've never seen probably a full episode at one time. And so I knew of it. I knew, it's a bunch of guys at a bar in Philly. That was about my knowledge of it. And then I started watching it. And like I said, I'm still about 9 episodes in the first season. And I've laughed. It's funny.
Sure.
But it's pretty much, these people have serious mental health issues.
And this is my point. You're only in season 1.
I know. There's like 16 a season, you said, or something?
Season 1, if I went back and watched season 1 now, I laugh at how tame it is.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
Like, they've done things, I'm like, that is savage.
Dude, I can't put in... The whole scene with the limo, Charlie, and it's the levels of depravity, and there's some things they do are like, I didn't think they could possibly sink that low, and they pulled it off.
Well, and
this is an award-winning TV show too.
Is it?
They've gotten Emmys and stuff.
Emmys or whatever they give out, SPs,
Cable Ace Awards,
Rotten Mater Emmys. But the part that also kind of gets me too a little bit is, like, the things they say and do are deplorable. But you watch the show and you're like, well, I can see how they got that rationale. You know what I mean? Like, you don't condone it, but you understand.
But it makes sense, right?
You're like, okay, I understand how one would think that, but because it's like, it's so nefarious, but you're not sure if it's from a nefarious place or they just are too dumb to know better.
It's both. It's both. They're not good people, and they're trying to, like, make stuff happen for them, like ill-gotten gains or whatever. But they're also not smart enough to pull it off.
I'm also like, how are these four? Because I don't know where they're like. What are they? Late 20s, early 30s, maybe? They're
30 somethings is what we call it.
30 somethings. How the heck did these 4 individuals remain alive and healthy with their capacity? That's what I'm like. How did you make it this far without, walking off a short pier or sticking your finger in an electrical socket, doing something?
Luck, combination of luck and maybe some good investments. I don't know. It's like, that was one of the questions. Like, how did you guys come about getting the bar? And then the question gets answered when Danny DeVito's character comes in and he buys the bar because they were struggling. And so it's almost like one of those. And this happens throughout the series too. Right when things are getting like what are they going to do from here? Some weird stuff will happen and just kind of like take it back to square one, so that no lessons get learned and so that nobody benefits or advances.
Interesting. But yeah, I'm not, like, I'm going to keep going, but I'm not drawn in like some other shows. Like other shows, I get into it, I'm like, oh, you know what? I can't wait to.
And that's a big part of it, is it's not a serial series, so you don't have to like follow the episode. So it's very easy to just kind of like step out for a while and then fall back in. You're not going to miss any storylines necessarily. There's some,
continuation,
underlying things like the McPoyles. They come up a lot throughout the series. I don't know if you've met the McPoyles.
I don't think I've met the McPoyles.
Oh, you will. Oh, you will. The milk drinking, brief wearing McPoyles.
Like Letterkenny, I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to hear. Like this one, I'm like, do I want to go into the next one? I was like, all right, maybe I need to walk away.
It's an uncomfortable watch, but it's a good one.
Yeah.
Like I just keep going back to that specific. There's a joke that I can't say on the air, but it is. I mean, the levels that they're at now, they're gonna tank in like 2 or 3 seasons. Trust me on that.
Well, it just kind of reminds. You know what? It kind of reminds me of, like a uber dark version of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right.
Like, like everything spirals. Something very innocent at the beginning of Curb spirals into a big to-do. That generally, that's the premise of every episode. One thing Larry does that's just nonchalant turns into a big to do by the end of it. You know, somebody he cut off in the street or some.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just,
one little thing will snowball out of control.
yeah, it's like that, but it's evil. I mean, like dark. It's
What's
just
funny?
twisted.
What's funniest about this show, in my opinion, is you never actually see like interactions with regular people.
Yeah.
And then when you do, you're like, you realize, oh my God, these people are these are terrible people.
Now, I'm just curious. Is Charlie kind of the writer? Like it's his,
Mac is.
Okay.
Yeah. Rob McElhenney is the is the head
he's
writer.
he's the guy. It's his vision.
Fun fact: Rob McElhenney, Mac, and Dee are actually married in real life.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right, interesting. Oh,
So Rob, has it McCullany? Or
Mac McElhenney.
McElhenney?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know he was in a one of those early 2000s anti-smoking ads where it's like, think, don't
The
smoke.
truth ads, all that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I had no idea.
have to go dig on the internets for that.
Yeah.
No, I
he's
didn't know
like
that.
super serious, and it's funny to watch him now.
The whole series started as like a web series or like a YouTube. It was like YouTube Shorts
Before
or something like that.
FX picked it
and
up.
then FX picked it up and kind of ran with it.
Oh,
But,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I just it's funny. I'm laughing. I like it. But yeah, it's different, man. It's kind of there's a hint of oogie when you're done watching it.
I get that 100%. It's a good watch if you need something to be like, at least I'm not these people.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good about where you're at. in life.
That's a fair statement. Like if you're thinking, man, I'm a bad person, and then you watch it, I'm not so bad. I'm all right.
But then there's that other counter thought where it's like, oh, I'm only slightly better than these people. Oh no. Oh no.
And then God forbid if you watch and you can relate to something like you did it, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm officially an evil person now.
It's come up. It's not on that show necessarily, but it's come up on when I'm watching shows. I'm like, oh no, I'm as bad as people that are written to be this way.
Are any of the memes from season 1?
No. Most of the memes come from like the Danny DeVito years, like the I brought you an egg in this trying time. All those. Those are from like the.
Was he not in season 1?
He was in the end of season 1.
Oh,
Yeah, they brought him on towards the end.
okay.
Very good. We haven't heard from our guest yet, have we?
No.
Figured they'd be here. I did get a call during my thing, but they didn't leave a message, so I don't know what's that. But
What if it was them saying they're downstairs?
I'm wondering too.
But there's a sign on the door.
I do have to ask a question. We'll get to it because you reminded me of it.
Okay.
Real quick. I noticed this morning when I went to get a bottle of water, there is one single egg just sitting in the door. One egg. One egg. Why is there one egg?
Let me
sitting?
explain.
Why is there one egg?
Let me explain.
Not a dozen eggs, or
Right.
just an egg, not in a cage
I
or
had
package.
left. No, this is a,
Was
this
that
is
the
a
one
great,
that Sean gave me?
Shh, hold on.
You got an egg?
You're ruining the lead here. Okay. So what happened yesterday? I have a friend who I get farm fresh eggs from.
Okay.
Problem is
Farm fresh eggs.
I get them around lunchtime and I don't have any place to store them. I'm not going to keep them in my car, so I bring them up and put them in the fridge here at work. Well, I left my eggs in the fridge, came back up to get them yesterday while Tanner and Roy were packing up equipment for the basketball game.
Okay.
And I walked past Roy and dropped the meme, "May I offer you an egg in this trying time?" Literally from Always Sunny.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what
And I
reminded
was-
me of the egg.
Hold on. I was joking, so I closed the thing, and he comes back. He goes, "Were you serious?" I'm like, "Go for it, buddy." And he's like, and he goes, and he says,
like he really wanted the egg.
And then, and I would love to get your some context on this, but Roy goes, "Sometimes I eat them raw."
Dude?
Okay,
All right.
cool. Are you weightlifting? Are you lifting weights like for funsies?
Who, me?
Yeah. Well, because you said sometimes I eat them raw.
Oh, yeah, just because I like them that way. But, I was going to do it right then and there, Rocky Balboa style. And
Right. That's crazy.
You like that?
I've never seen anybody do that by choice. It's like a
You never
weightlifter's-
tried it? Once?
On a bet, yeah, and it was terrible.
Really?
Yes, it's like the worst.
That's our guest. I got
It was
a
like
text,
the worst consistency ever. I just even thinking about it, that's rough. But just it was a weird series of statements. Just the whole. Sometimes I eat them raw. I walked out of this building like shook. I'm like
Well, it's very weird that you did the
don't know what
meme when
to
he
say.
asked about the meme and the memes, and then that's what triggered. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, I saw just a single egg sitting in the door. What is I'm seeing?
when he came back with, "Were you serious?" I'm like,
Because
"Yeah, I get it."
I see grocery ingredients randomly sitting there like that all the time. So I
butter,
really,
eggs.
yeah. So I just like this must be one of his weird coffee joints or something, man.
Right.
Maybe he's been putting egg in coffee now. I don't know, but that's weird.
No,
All
it
right.
just it was
It's funny.
It was very off-putting. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think it was gonna end back up here, but
Well, I was excited to hear that. All right, it is 20 minutes after 7. It's 20 minutes after 7. Our guest is pulling up. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty mild today, but we'll be cooling off tomorrow with a cold front rolling through eastern New Mexico. In the meantime, about 70 on our afternoon high. It'll be breezy, and we should get plenty of sunshine. Overnight, that cold front drops in with our low around 30 and a few clouds. Then we're back to sunshine on Wednesday, but it will be quite a bit cooler and breezy, our high near 50. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 34 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 52%. Winds are currently out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Another warm day today. Sunny skies and a high of 71 expected. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour this morning. A little breezy out of the southwest, 15 to 20 for this afternoon. Partly cloudy tonight. Expect an overnight low of around 30. Winds will be out of the southwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, now we get cooler. The 70s go away tomorrow. Mostly sunny, highs near 50 with northeast winds 15 to 20 miles per hour. Wednesday night, clear skies with an overnight low of 23. Thursday, sunny and 52 with northwest winds at around 15 miles per hour. Friday, mostly sunny and 52. And then for the weekend, sunny, highs near 60, 59 officially on Saturday, sunny and 62 on Sunday. All right, 7:22. Let's get you into your Roswell Livestock Report recap, quick commercial break, and then joining us on the other side will be running, current City Councilor in Ward 2 and running for re-election. Margaret Kinnard will join us on the other side. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,680 head of cattle sold on Monday on a steady to lower market with excellent buyer attendance compared to last week. Stocker calves sold steady, feeder cattle steady, packer cows and bulls $2 to $4 lower, 3 to 400 pound steers $216, $225, 3 to 400 pound heifers $189.5 to $193, 4 to 500 pound steers $196, $216, 4 to 500 pound heifers $168, $189.50, 5 to 600 pound steers $174, $196. 5 to 600 pound heifers $153 and a quarter, $168. 6 700 pound steers $159, $174. 6 700 pound heifers $150, $153 and a quarter. 7 800 pound steers $151, $159. 7 800 pound heifers $140, $150. Packer cows $80 to $89. Canner and cutter cows $63 to $70. Packer bulls $98 to $106. Feeder bulls $80 to $90. Top half the cow calf pairs $1,200 to $1,450 per pair. Top half the bred cows $1,100 to $1,400 per head. Now remember, this is the top of the market and prices range down from this according to quality, quantity, condition, and feel. Plan to attend the Roswell Brangus Bull and Female Sale. Also selling a handful of nice proven ranch horses this Saturday. Sale time 10 a.m. Hope to see you at the sale. We appreciate the business. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Hi, I'm Dennis Kintai, Mayor of Roswell. Since becoming mayor in 2014, we've accomplished a lot. We've cleaned out numerous derelict structures that spoil our neighborhoods. We've constructed a state-of-the-art aquatic center. We have built 2 new splash pads in city parks for families to enjoy. We have invested over $25 million to revitalize our air center. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the city of Roswell has stayed open and free while we work to ensure everyone's safety. Today, we are under attack from those trying to impose Santa Fe values on our way of life. I will always fight to keep Roswell values front and center. We've done a lot, but there's more to be done. I'm asking you to vote to keep me, Dennis Kintai, as your mayor on March 1st. Together, we can keep Roswell free. This is Dennis Kintai, and I approve of this ad.
We're rolling out the red, white, and blue carpet for Big O's President's Day sale, bringing you the very best deals from the biggest brands. From February 21st to the 27th, shop select sets of Michelin tires at your neighborhood Big O and get a $70 reward card. But that's not all. We're also giving you free installation. You deserve the presidential treatment, and that's exactly what we offer. Head to Big O for trusted service, expert auto care, and great prices on tires, brakes, oil changes, and more. This week only, get a $70 reward card when you buy select Michelin tires, plus free basic installation. Shop the President's Day sale at your local Big O, February 21st through the 27th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees extra and at the 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. Void where prohibited. Additional retailer offer advertised within is independent from the manufacturer's offer. Upgraded installation packages available at additional cost. See store for details.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Fall in love and save this month at Roswell Nissan. Sweet deals across the lot so your wallet can feel the love. Get a 2015 Chrysler 200 for only $195 a month, a 2017 Versa for only $185 a month, or a 2012 Chevy Sonic for only $135 a month. Zero down, no payments for 90 days, and $2,000 guaranteed on your trade. So drag it in. Plus, stop by for a box of sweets and spin the wheel. Get a box of chocolates with a test drive and a $30 Pasta Cafe gift card with purchase. Fall in love at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Hi, Roswell. I'm Guy Malone, candidate for mayor. Welcome to my non-mudslinging political campaign ad. I want you to visit roswellguy.com to find out about all the good reasons you have to actually vote for someone, not vote against someone. Refreshing idea, hey? Well, I've got lots more where that came from. You know and I know that Roswell is destined for same stuff, different year if we don't vote for positive changes that bring Roswell's politics and economy into the 21st century. Malone for mayor, roswellguy.com.
Paid for by Guy Malone for Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The verb form of the word run has been calculated to have almost 650 different meanings. So think about that the next time you run up your tab at the bar, and then run into a friend while you run away from the bartender. Here's Mike Winters.
I love run. Good morning. It is 27 or 28 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, we have running for election here in the upcoming municipal election, City Councilor for Ward 2, Margaret Kinnard, joining us in studio this morning. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Mike. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. Today, putting on your actual political hat here and
yes,
pitching for yourself this morning. Here.
Yes, I am.
So first off, for folks that don't know, we are 1 week away from the municipal election. You can still early vote right now at multiple locations.
Yes.
But if you have not voted yet, you got a week here to do early voting, and then we're a week away from the actual election day. There'll be, I think, 11 different polling locations on election day. So if you have not decided who you're voting for yet, you might want to start thinking about that kind of stuff here. So, but Margaret, now you have a bit of a unique. So you kind of came in. Appointed to your position after, was it Caleb Grant
yes,
retired?
Caleb Grant resigned after he moved into the county.
Yes.
And so I was
the mayor appointed you in
to fill
that position.
Yeah, to fill that vacancy.
And that was about a year and a half ago?
It was actually January 2020.
Okay.
So 2 years.
It's been just 2 years here.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he must have been reelected shortly. Oh, it was 4-year terms, about 2-year terms. So,
yeah,
okay.
he was 2 years in.
Math is not my strength. So let me ask. Let's start there. Like in your two years here of city councilor, is it what you expected it was, and or is it different, or is it pretty much spot on?
Well, I'm no Larry Conley. Prior to being appointed, I didn't attend every committee meeting, and
So
but
you
I
had to
was
get up
aware.
to speed a little bit.
I was aware of how things worked, but definitely no, I did not know everything. I don't claim to know everything after 2 years,
Sure.
but it was a good lesson. I got my feet wet. Now I know, I have a better idea of what's going on.
Sure.
I feel like I'm pretty well prepared in just that process of learning.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean, one of the things that I didn't realize, we employ over 600 people at the city. We
Yeah.
have over 20 something departments. I mean, when you get a complaint or something like that, overall, it's very small overall in the scheme of things and all
Sure.
that we're doing. It is I am very proud of the employees of the city. I'm very proud of the work that they do. I think they're proud. One of the things that I'm just so excited about is the YouTube channel that we have, and all of the different videos that the different departments have made.
Sure.
One of the ones that stands out to me is the Vector truck that, they did a video on what they do and, clearing,
It's
it's like a clog, or I mean that's not the right word, but
Yeah.
clearing out the lines and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And
the unsexy, gross stuff that we know needs to be done, but no one wants to do
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
I mean, it's the things that make our city run,
Yeah.
and allows us to have a healthy city, water,
Sure.
sewage, and all that.
By the way, if you haven't checked out the videos and things that Margaret's talking about, if you go to the city's website, roswell-nm.gov, you'll get there's like a whole section where you can see videos, and some of it's instructional videos on like how to do this. A lot of it's meet the staff, meet the people that make the city go, and it's kind of a hodgepodge of various things and events about. So, but yeah, through the city's website, I know Johnny.
Yes.
Johnny's kind of that's kind of his world. He's put up a ton of those videos and things for folks to check out if you haven't yet.
Right.
So for you now, what's in the 2 years? What's like if you could like take a crowning achievement or thing you're most proud of since you've been on city council that you've been a part of? What do you have a particular piece of legislation or something that you've done as a city councilor? Like, you know what, this is why I'm doing this.
Well, I came in at a very, you said unique. I guess it's unique.
Sure.
Coming into COVID.
Doesn't happen every day. Yeah.
Right. I came in right when COVID
Sure.
hit. And so, training that city councilors would normally receive, I didn't get to go to that.
You got kind of thrown to the wolves a little bit.
Yeah, we were, the state was shut down. But I would say I sit on the finance committee. I'm a member. I sit as the vice chair of the infrastructure committee. And so I think we've done some really good things over the past 2 years. This year in the 2021 budget, we doubled what we put into roads. So you're going to see a lot of those projects coming up this spring.
Okay.
That's huge.
Okay.
That's one of the things that I'm all about fundamentals. I think, our streets, our sewer and water lines, those are very important things.
Sure.
And we have to get those things right in order to build the city up on that. And one of the other things that I'm proud of, that I was part of, not one thing is me. It's the majority of 10 people coming together and, agreeing that, this is the direction.
Sure.
But one of the other things that I'm proud of is that we upped our reserves 3/12. So basically we have 3 months of reserves.
Gotcha.
1 month is required by the state, but we've upped ours
Or
to
3 times what the
Yes.
state's requiring.
And so I think that is a very prudent and wise decision that we came to and agreed upon. But
Sure.
there's so many things that happen, so many things that go through on a monthly basis. Our meetings go 5 to 6 hours usually.
Yeah, they can be marathons. I know
And
we've had the
they're-
mayor on, and
Yeah.
they'll start at 6, and there's been times where it's close to midnight for some of those meetings wrap up on occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like I said, I'm about fundamentals. Infrastructure matters a lot to me.
Mhm.
It's funny because I've walked the streets in Roswell for several different campaigns, and I know the condition of the roads. And to me, that's something that I think previously we have not done a very good job.
Gotcha. So you're playing catch up on that. a
Yeah.
little bit.
And so some of the things too are, our city buildings. We have to figure something out, some kind of program out to address those issues. Because if not, then if we're not putting the amount of money that we need to into those buildings to maintain them, then we're going to have a problem.
Gotcha.
Just like we did with Yucca. The police station, that's a whole nother issue too. And there are some fire stations I know that are in need of some repair.
Sure. So, well, just out of curiosity, since we're talking that a little bit, obviously, in this last 2 years, they tried to get the public safety complex that did not pass by the voters here. But that still doesn't change some of those needs we're talking about
Right.
there. So,
The problem still exists.
yeah, so let me ask you, so now that the voters didn't want that, do you think we just need to go in and start throwing a bunch of money in these facilities, or do you think we should maybe come up with maybe try again with a public safety? I don't know. How do you think we should do some of that? Is it just fix what we got, or should we start creating new here, or what? And I don't know with the budget side.
I don't know. So that building, that bank building of the police department was purchased, I believe, in the early 90s.
Okay.
Okay, I was in high school at that time. So, I may not have all of the details, or I don't remember that fully, but,
Sure.
I don't know what the answer is.
Yeah.
I know that there's a huge problem, and we need to, if we're not going to build a new building, and I understand that,
Sure.
then we need to figure out what we're going to do with it.
Gotcha.
And what's interesting is that, you probably know this, most people do, is, we have the huge issue over the $61 million, that's not even accurate, the $61 million baseball fields.
Yes.
But when I was in high school, I remember the plans for Cielo Grande, and they were starting that process to break ground over there.
Mm-hmm.
And it, was something I remember being a high school student so excited about.
Sure.
I didn't even live in Roswell. I lived in Dexter, but it was something that I was excited
Something
about.
that a place for young people to hang out and do things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And back then there was the discussion of the pool. There was going to be a new pool creation. This was, I'm 42 now, so 20-something years ago.
Okay. I didn't say it. She outed herself. I didn't do that. That was nothing to me.
Yeah, but anyway, but look how long it's taken to get a pool over there.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, there's these master plans that start, and then 22 years later, you're finally seeing additions to it, So, and even now with that baseball complex, the new field, people that were in those leadership positions a few years ago when all of that was being brought up. Now you got new board members at the little leagues, and
Sure.
the council. A few of the council members that were on at that time are not on now, and so here we are with these plans that we're trying to decide, do we push them through or not? Not
Sure.
that it's not going to be good for Roswell. I think
Sure.
all of these things are reaching to make Roswell a better place. Those quality of life,
Sure.
things that we need.
Well, and I think you understand this, but maybe you can explain a little better. It's you got to figure out that balance, because we always want to have growth in Roswell. We want to attract businesses, people that come to this community and contribute. And look, but the hospitals are always trying to bring more qualified people here. The education, our schools are trying to bring more. But you understand this, and maybe you can explain this. The city has to take a role in that, and maybe not saying, okay, you got to pay your people more, but the role of the city is to make the place more attractive for where professionals say, yeah, I want to buy a home in Roswell. I want to live in Roswell because they've got a nice aquatic center. You know what I mean? kind of explain that. While the balance of quality for life versus, because as a city councilor, that's kind of a big thing. It's how do we be good stewards of the money we're given, but at the same time take care of what we need to take care of, but also bring up amenities to which, okay, that doesn't directly impact whether my water turns on or my trash is picked up, but at the same time, what are we going to do once the trash is picked up and the water is, delivered?
Right.
We got to have things to do. If you don't mind, kind of explain that balance that you guys have to deal with.
I agree with you. I think it's a really hard balancing act. I feel that if we are addressing the infrastructure issues that need to be addressed, the streets, our focus needs to be on maintaining the city assets, our roads, things that we're responsible for. Okay, then you're like, okay, what about the zoo? Now people. I remember very upset about the rocket being taken down at the zoo, and I mean I've been on that slide. As a young child, I was on that slide, and yes, I love it.
I think it was people were mad, I'll be honest, because of the memories.
Yes, absolutely.
Because every person said I burned myself on that thing, or I
right.
Everyone's like battle scars from the rocket slide. But yeah,
and I agree.
Sure.
It is a memory, but
it's also could be a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Exactly. So in case you didn't know, we're still dealing with that rocket issue because somebody is going to be making art out of it. So
cool.
I
kind of dig that.
But if you were to close down the zoo, oh my gosh, this is something that's been in Roswell for a long time, longer than I've been here, because I think I moved here when I was 3 with my family, when my dad was transferred with the state police. But, we know that there are issues, at the zoo that we're trying to address, but there it is with, there's the money issue, there's how are these things going to be funded, and so unfortunately, it's not that I have all the answers, and I'm not trying to point fingers, but previously things like this had not been taken care of.
Gotcha.
And so I think we're moving towards it.
Sure.
I think the city as a whole is moving towards an excellent, trying to do everything that we do with excellence.
Sure. Let me ask this because, like you say, you're kind of talking about like. Obviously, sitting on the city council, you see some of these things. Is your opinion that we're kind of playing catch up on a lot? I've said like with schools, I've talked about this. We were retirement community versus, and so schools have been in that mode for the last 10 years in Chavez County, in Roswell certainly, of upgrading because. For many years, I don't think there was a lot of work done to these schools, and we had to, and so they're rebuilding, redoing. Is the city in itself going through some of that too? You think?
I think so. Yeah. I think with the road study that we did, we're able to determine which roads are the worst. I know that when I first came on, there was a discussion about determining what buildings are in need of the most repair, trying to determine where they are on the. There's no other way to worst, best to worst list. Sure. And so I think some of those things are being addressed. But we don't have the money to redo all of this stuff all at once. So just trying to figure out where the greatest need is and address those, as best we can.
Gotcha. So let me ask this. Assuming you get elected here and serve on the next 4 years, looking at the next 4 years as a city councilor, what do you think are going to be some of the biggest, what direction do you think you guys are going to be going in that's going to make the biggest impact on this city? Do you think it's going to be more airport stuff, or do you think what areas do you think the city councilor going to really have to kind of focus on this next 4 years?
I'm going to say one of the things that I'm going to fight for is just continue to fund the roads at, the streets and the water lines and all that. Because when you do a road, just like what's happening right now on Atkinson, you get down there to rehab the road and you find additional issues.
Sure.
And so with the manholes and, what happened on Garden,
Sure.
water lines.
And the infrastructure thing that we all knew, the whole state's dealing with the pipes and everything. That's, 75 years ago they put these in, and they have a shelf life of about 50.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
And now the entire state, one municipality by municipality, is fixing these, and Roswell's got their fair share of them, like other communities do.
Right.
So,
I think that the airport is going to continue to be a big issue. We need to grow that, and that's another thing. I mean, prior to just a few years, maybe the last 10 years, that wasn't something that anybody ever really paid attention to, But I think we really need to fight for the flights to remain here. That's one thing that we did. We voted to work with American Airlines to keep those flights during the shutdown. But, one of the things that I think is interesting is in, door knocking for this campaign.
Sure.
I've come to a lot of people and, I normally ask, I give them my spiel. I'm Margaret Kennard, and I'm running. And I ask them, if they have any issues or concern. Well, this one gal, she brings me through her house and says, you need to look at these weeds. So on the property that butts up to her alley.
okay. Is it city-owned property?
No,
Okay.
it's private. But anyway, the weeds were 12
Okay.
foot
So code
high.
enforcement was
Yes.
an issue with her. Gotcha.
So, and then I go to this other house, and this gal tells me, my trash cans, my dumpster's been moved in my alley. You know what sanitation does? They have these dumpsters are on GPS.
Oh, really?
And they could tell that it had been moved.
So they know exact spot it's supposed to be,
and
huh?
they came and they moved it, and this, just addressing these little issues
Gotcha.
as I'm coming, going door to door. And,
Sure.
But I think the city has moved forward in leaps and bounds. It's funny. I worked for the city in the early 2000s.
Okay.
And so...
So you got a bit of a comparison between now and then.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we've grown a lot. And in the area that I'm aware of is just in technology.
Gotcha.
So back then we had the internet, but I worked in the code enforcement as a business license clerk.
Okay.
And we don't have a city email. Nobody could access the internet on their computers. And I literally got under my desk, saw that I had the hookup to the internet, hooked my computer up, and then I went and did the same thing for the code enforcement officers because, it was...
Just backwards. It was just
Well,
antiquated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, these are things that I don't know exactly to what level you could look things up, but you could look things up. You could look addresses up on
Sure.
the internet, and so
Things that basic things, tasks that should be commonplace at that level wasn't because technology was behind, basically.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
So I don't think there was an IT department.
Right.
We definitely didn't have a citywide email. So this is just leaps and bounds. And I'm not saying that we're where we need to be.
Sure.
There's still improvements to be made, but we've come a long way.
Okay. Well, we're almost out of time. But I want to ask, if this next 4 years, do you have a priority? Something like I don't know if it's an issue or something in the city that you say, you know what, I would love to make sure that's taken care of when I'm after this next 4 years.
Well, so I think
or
that
at least the process of.
Right. We're now out of the mandate, from the state. A lot of things that happen in Roswell are as a result of what happens in Santa Fe.
Sure.
And so I think that coming out of that, we're in a good financial position to focus on some of the things that we've been needing to focus on. I want to say that my big thing is just infrastructure, continue the road improvements, continue to do the fundamental things to the best of our abilities. I want to say that, we are doing a good job trying to be business friendly. I think that there's more work to be done there.
Gotcha.
To support the businesses that have been affected by COVID and the shutdowns. That's one of the things that I'm proud of is that I voted against the enforcement of the mask mandates. I voted to keep Roswell open. And I hope that people remember that this city council did fight for those things, and I will continue to fight for those things. I don't know how big government should be. But I really think it should be small, and that will allow these businesses to do what they need to do and provide what they provide to our communities. I mean, there's so many of these small businesses employ our children, and give them that first step into the employment world.
Experience and all that.
Yeah. And so I just hope that we can continue to improve that relationship. I'm open
sure
to any ideas, but I think it's going to be interesting coming out of this shutdown, to see what areas we can address. But like I said,
business relationships and continue to try to make that relationship between city and businesses stronger.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
One more thing, because we were just talking, since we talked a little bit about, I want to get your thoughts on Chaves County, obviously with the state, realigning the congressional districts and everything here. Chaves County's going to now in a unique position of pretty much having all 3 congressional districts in there. As a city council in Roswell, does that impact you guys at all? I mean, is like directly or indirectly? Like, do you anticipate? I mean, obviously you work a lot with the Republican women here, and so you've got your tea leaves on what's going on in the state. But how, negatively or positively, how do you think that's going to impact Roswell?
I think it's negative.
Okay.
I think it's totally negative.
Gotcha.
We had a very strong congressional member as our congressional representative,
sure.
And now, I mean, it's the confusion, number one.
Mm-hmm.
People don't even know what
Sure.
congressional district they're in. I've asked for the maps, and I haven't even seen the maps yet. So I think that it's a big problem.
Okay. I just didn't know, would that impact, a city council? Are you going to have representatives from 3 congressional districts come seeing you now, talking to you, as opposed to 1? I mean,
right.
I didn't know if that impacts them. And I don't know because
it is because the way that our wards are drawn up.
Yeah.
I don't know, which representative addresses what ward.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was just curious, just your thoughts, how is that going to? I mean, or is it? You know what? We're city council. We do our thing regardless. I didn't know if that impacting decision making or
right.
things that just come across the city council's desk here.
I know that our congressional member Yvette Harrell, whenever that fully switches over,
yeah.
I knew that her staff tried to attend county commission meetings, city council meetings in the 7. There's more counties, but here in Roswell,
Gotcha.
Kim Perry, was responsible for 7 counties, and I know that they make an effort to attend those things. I don't know that we'll ever see anybody come down here from the northern part of the state.
Yeah, well, that doesn't happen anyway. So
yeah,
I thought maybe they'd come visit now. They kind of had to, but
I think we have a very involved congressional staff
Sure.
here in Chaves County right now, and I think that we're probably not going to see that.
Okay. I was just curious. I was
Yeah.
wondering if you guys are reading the tea leaves on that. We're about out of time, but I want to give you an opportunity to do anything we didn't get a chance to talk about, anything you want to make sure you let people know.
Thank you, Mike. I just want to say I stand behind my record in voting. I feel that I've done very well in that. I've attended every council meeting. I have not, and because that matters to me.
Sure.
It matters to me when I look at candidates. Are you really going to be there?
If you're elected to the job, you better be there for the
Right.
job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so, I mean, and of course, this is another issue with COVID. A lot of our stuff, we transitioned to, go to
virtual presence.
Right.
And things,
but I think that that's important. That's been important to me when I've looked at candidates previously to me being on this position. I hope that people see that I have fought for people's rights, so that they had the choice to do what they felt was appropriate for them.
Sure.
I feel that what we've done with our budget would show that we've fought to be conservative and fiscally responsible, and so to me, I think if you can double what you put into the streets, what you've done, I don't even know when the last time that much. I don't think any time, in previous years' budgets, we put that much money towards the roads. That's one of the things that I'm proud of.
Gotcha. Excellent. If folks want to get involved, walk with you, get signs, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, so, I've walked 9 of the 10 precincts. And so I could use anybody's help that wants to help me out. I've got a good team.
To reach out to you? Through Facebook or?
Yeah, Facebook, or they can call. My phone number's out there.
Okay. Yeah.
My phone number's on the city website.
That's right. You can go to the city website, get email, phone number, and reach out that way, or look for Margaret Kennard on Facebook.
Yep. But I'm running out of signs, so that's good. It's funny because I ordered 200 initially, and I thought, if I could get 200 people to put signs in their yards, wow. But then I had to order another 100. So,
nice.
Yeah. But anyway, vote for me, Margaret Kennard, March 1st.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And obviously, we'll see you here on the radio bunch. And as city councilor, you have an open invite to come on anytime.
Well,
so
cool.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike, for all you do.
Thank you. We'll see you next time. Okay.
All right.
7:56. Let's take a quick break before more news. Don't go away.
Honey, did you see the story in the Roswell paper recently about how Dennis Kintai and the city council want to spend $61 million on new baseball fields?
Yep, talk about out-of-control spending.
Yeah, they say it's a field of dreams, more like field of debt.
Definitely. Kintai and the council don't have their priorities straight. Remember, they wanted to spend $35 million on a new public safety complex. Thank goodness over 80% of voters rejected that boondoggle.
And meanwhile, crime has gone up drastically over Kintai's last 4 years in charge.
Yeah, and Roswell's roads are a mess. Have you seen the sorry state that streets like North Garden are in? Potholes everywhere.
That's why we need Tim Jennings for mayor. Tim will control spending, hire more police officers, and fix our roads.
Let's send a message to City Hall that Roswell can't afford to spend $61 million on building new baseball fields. Vote Tim Jennings for mayor.
Paid for by Tim Jennings for mayor.
Have you ever had someone do something kind and out of the ordinary for you? How did that make you feel? I know for me, it brightens my day. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not get tired of doing what's right, for after a while we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't get discouraged and give up." I've learned when you don't know what to do, just do the next right thing. Keep sowing good things into your spouse and your family. Be patient. God promises He will give you a harvest. It will make a difference. A successful farmer just keeps on working and expects to have a great harvest.
I know when my husband brings me flowers, it blesses me. So do something unexpected for your spouse. It will pay off.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Time to double up and save at Roswell Honda.
Double your refund.
That's right. Roswell Honda wants to double up your tax refund up to $4,000 towards your next vehicle. And with clearance prices across the lot, you can walk in, double up, and drive away today in a 2014 Yukon for just $379 a month, a 2014 Civic for just $249 a month, or a 2017 Escape for just $199 a month. Zero down, no payments for 4 months, free AirPods with a test drive, and double your refund.
Time to double up.
On now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
At LeGrand Funeral Chapel, we believe that every funeral should be a reflection of the life it honors. The joys, the triumphs, the faith, the family, and so much more. For us, no detail is too small, no request too big. This is Rosa Aguilar. When the time comes to choose a funeral home, we hope you'll let us serve your family. At LeGrand Funeral Chapel and Crematory, we make it personal.
Austin Industrial is currently seeking a janitorial staff position to work in the Holly Frontier Refinery. You will be responsible for cleaning and sanitizing offices, meeting rooms, bathrooms, kitchen and dining room, and public areas. No minimum education requirements are needed, no experience is required, and pay is $13.50 an hour for this full-time 40-hour-a-week position. Apply at austin-ind.com or call Miss Cookie Look at 832-657-3385. Austin Industrial is an equal employment opportunity employer.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to have City Council candidate for Ward 4, Alicia Gilmore, join us, and we'll have a great conversation with her, talking about why she's running. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side. Do not go away.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. After weeks of warnings, Western leaders are beginning to take action against Russia after Vladimir Putin declared that Ukraine has no right to be its own country. Prime Minister Boris Johnson says Britain is slapping sanctions on 5 Russian banks and 3 wealthy individuals. Top European Union officials are ready to impose sanctions on several Russian officials, as well as banks financing the Russian armed forces. Germany today said it is suspending the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline from Russia, and the White House says President Biden will be announcing actions of his own later in the day. Our military affairs analyst, retired Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis, says this expansion by Putin is not over.
He's going to permanently station forces in Belarus, which of course is snug tight with the Poles, and he's going to continue to put pressure on Kiev, which I don't think is going to allow them by any stretch of the imagination to seek NATO membership.
All of this activity is pointing toward a possible war, says British Foreign Secretary Liz Truss.
We are definitely seeing the precursors to an invasion. Now, we can't rule out the fact that diplomacy and deterrence could work, but the situation is very dangerous. We urge Putin to stop.
And for the record, the White House is now referring to Russian troop deployments in eastern Ukraine as an invasion. The U.S. women's national soccer team scores a major victory off the field. After a 6-year legal battle for equal pay, they've reached an agreement promising them $24 million plus bonuses that match those of the men. The financial markets reacting negatively to the Ukraine crisis developments. Stocks are mixed. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 3388 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 3388. Enjoy.
Israel says it has successfully tested a new naval air system intercepting a series of threats in what officials called a key layer of protection against Iran and its proxies.
The Sea Dome system is a naval version of the Iron Dome rocket defense system. It's being installed on Israel's latest generation corvette warships. They protect Israel's coastline and offshore natural gas assets in the Mediterranean. The Defense Ministry says the test simulated a number of incoming threats, including rockets, cruise missiles, and drones. Defense officials say Iran and its proxies are upgrading their capacity and that Israel remains 2 steps ahead of its enemies. Bob Agnew reporting.
University of Michigan basketball coach Juwan Howard has been suspended the final 5 games of the regular season. He's also been fined $40,000 for hitting a Wisconsin assistant in the head. That triggered a post-game melee. News and analysis at townhall.com. Some California beaches have been shut down.
A sewage spill in Southern California forced the closure of a stretch of beach Monday. The Orange County Health Agency says up to 50,000 gallons of raw sewage spilled into nearby waters. The spill was caused by a blocked sewer line at a restaurant in Newport Bay, the Los Angeles Times reported. Monday's spill came less than 2 months after a sewage main in Carson, California failed and millions of gallons of waste spilled into the Los Angeles harbor. I'm Mike Rossio.
Meanwhile, about 1,000 beehives worth hundreds of of thousands of dollars have been reported stolen across California in the past few weeks. Experts say a tightening bee supply and the soaring cost to rent a hive is motivating thieves. Beekeepers are now turning to GPS tracking devices, surveillance cameras, and other anti-theft technology in order to protect their colonies. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2 of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Tuesday. Hope you're having a good day.
Oh, yeah.
Weather's
Sun's shining.
nice.
Yeah. Warming up quite nicely out there.
70-degree day.
This would be a good day to just get in the car and just drive. I mean, granted, you have to, mortgage your house to afford the gas, but still, it's a nice day to go for a drive.
Well, we get to go for a little drive today.
Yeah,
that'll be nice. We're gonna go. We're going back to Artesia since everyone's not sick no more. So we're gonna go back and do our Tuesday things we do on. That's the one week they want to look at us.
Yeah, the one time that they actually can stand us. And honestly, yeah, I got a couple of lunches owed to me, so should be a good day.
2 lunches.
Just get back to back. Go bang bang.
I want them right now. Line them up. Lunches.
You ever seen? I think it's Robert Kelly, Bob Kelly, the comic.
Mm-hmm.
He has this thing. Him and it was the thing him and Louis C.K. used to do called Bang Bang.
Okay.
Where they go to 2 restaurants back to back and have 2 full meals, full course meals at each place. Yeah, that was their thing.
That's a lot of food.
They just call it Bang Bang.
Do they get a legit
a full meal, a full entree?
They don't
here?
cheat nothing. They ain't be like, give me a side salad.
Yeah,
no. Give me a steak, and then you go over there and get lobster or whatever the next place.
Oh yeah,
pizza or whatever.
Bang bang, you're banging it out twice.
So then what do they do? Sleep after that?
Probably go home and pass out. Yeah, or do sets.
Is that after work or before work?
Usually before. Usually it's mid-afternoon. So I can't imagine
they turn into a TV show or something. Or
well, no, it was actually featured on an episode of Louie, a show back in the day before Louie got canceled.
Okay.
They actually talked about doing Bang Bang, and that was just something they've done since the start of their careers.
Is that available anywhere on streaming services?
I don't think so. If it is, it's going to be FX, maybe on Hulu. I don't know. It'd be a great one to go back and watch.
I'm just wondering,
that was a weird.
Did it get pulled or because of that? They said, no, you cannot. We are a racing society of his name, Louis C.K. Is that what they did, or?
I think. Because I haven't thought about that show in years. I would love to go back and watch it because it was such a weird show. It wasn't always funny. It was mostly funny, but there was a whole season where it got real serious.
Well, if that's the case, because you can in theory go back and try to watch a Cosby Show, right?
I don't know who's streaming it though.
I don't know either. All I'm saying is, Louis C.K. just said some stuff. He ain't running around date raping people.
Let's see.
He just said some dumb things, and they erase him for society. Bill Cosby. I'm just saying.
Looks like the only place you can get the episodes is piecemeal on Vudu for $1.99 a piece.
Oh, for Louis C.K.?
Yeah, for Louis.
Anybody got Vudu?
I haven't thought about the Cosby Show. I don't even know where that would be streaming.
I don't know. I just thought about it. I was like, can you? I'm just saying. It was just.
I got to imagine.
If he was Now, granted, I could see if people didn't like the show, but he had a following. He had a popularity. There was a cult group of people that loved that show.
Uh-huh.
He had a following. And for it to just disappear because he said something.
Right now, you can watch The Cosby Show on Amazon Prime.
There you go.
Yeah, you're able to stream The Cosby Show by renting or purchasing on Amazon
All I'm saying,
Video.
if you're going to do that move, maybe, you can't be picking and choosing here. Cosby went to jail.
Yeah, how come Malcolm Jamal Warner and Felicia Rashad have to suffer because of the bad decisions of one dude?
One could say the castmates of Louis C.K., his wife and the show wife and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I just a thought I was hearing. I was like, I mean, I get people do bad things and stuff, but I'm just if we're weighing who did something worse, I'm going to say Bill Cosby way outdid Louis C.K. Louis C.K. just said some off-colored things.
No,
I mean, and may have shown things.
Like he did a couple things we can't talk about.
Yeah. But
Cosby. I would say in the annals of like who did it worse, Cosby did it worse.
And let's face it, Bill Cosby's coming at you like, here's my kids, take my kids, we love them, you're a good man. Ain't nobody doing that to Louis C.K.
By the way, if you haven't already, you need to start watching the Hugh Hefner documentary series.
I want to. I just haven't gotten into it yet.
So
the behind the what's it called?
It's like Playboy behind
the Playboy Mansion or
something like that.
It's like on A&E or something.
Yeah, A&E or Lifetime or something like that. But it is. Well, the reason I bring it up is because in the very opening credits of the first episode, is they're just doing like pans of like different people at the mansion. There's Bill Cosby, just hanging out with the bunnies,
with the pudding pops.
I think the line he said something was like, "Is there anything else? Or is there anything in life that you get for free, or something like that?" But he was basically saying like, "This is a place where you can go to get women for free." Essentially, It was pretty telling.
Yeah, interesting. Where was that video 20 years ago when everyone was talking about Bill and how great he is?
He had people, they're keeping it under wraps.
Yeah, all I'm saying is pay attention to the world. Everything's as sunshine and rainbows as people present it. All right, it is 12 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty mild today, but we'll be cooling off tomorrow with a cold front rolling through eastern New Mexico. In the meantime, about 70 on our afternoon high. It'll be breezy, and we should get plenty of sunshine. Overnight, that cold front drops in with our low around 30 and a few clouds. Then we're back to sunshine on Wednesday, but it will be quite a bit cooler and breezy, our high near 50. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, I don't think I refreshed my weather. Did I? No, I didn't. What a savage I am. I apologize. Let me fix this. Currently 45 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 35%. Winds are out of the southeast at 12 miles per hour. Pretty nice day today. One more day of it. Sunny skies. Highs in the low 70s. 71 today with southeast winds 5 to 10 this morning. Shifting to the southwest, increasing 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy skies with an overnight low of 30. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, highs right around 50, so a little cooler tomorrow. Northeast winds 15 to 20 miles per hour, so breezes hanging around too. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 23 degrees. South winds 15 to 20. Thursday, sunny, high of 52. Northwest winds at around 15 miles per hour. Friday, mostly sunny and 52. And then a little bit warmer for the weekend. Sunny, high of 59, near 60 Saturday. Sunday, we should surpass the 60 mark with sunny skies, a high of 62 expected. So not too bad. All right, it is 14 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and we got a 5-minute break. It's election season. Our commercials are getting heavy. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to have joining us in studio on the other side will be city council candidate running in for city councilor in Ward 4. Lisa Gilmore will join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Ed Heldenbrand, candidate for city council. He's a patriot fighting against the waste of your tax dollars. As a CPA and Chief Financial Officer with over 35 years of experience, Ed understands the importance of managing budgets. By reducing the wasteful spending in the budget, we can lower your city water, sanitation costs, and work to reduce city fees. Roswell's potential is hurt by bad ideas and wasteful spending. Ed Hildebrand will never vote to shut down Roswell. He'll fight the job, education, and freedom-killing mandates from Santa Fe. It's important that taxpayers see improvements in our roads and city services to attract jobs, businesses, tourists, and to create an environment for local businesses to thrive. In Ward 3, you have a choice. Vote Ed Hildebrand, the conservative candidate. With your vote, we can build a better Roswell.
I'm Ed Hildebrand, City Council candidate for Ward 3, asking for your vote on Tuesday, March 1st. It's not about me, it's about we, and I approve this message.
Buying a good, clean, reliable pre-owned vehicle is just about the smartest thing you can do these days. But how do you know it's good, clean, and reliable? Well, just visit your friends at Roswell Ford. Here at the Tailgate Nation, we have over 100 outstanding pre-owned vehicles ready to serve you and your family for years to come. How do you know? Because we put everyone through a rigorous 139-point inspection, and we give you a 3-day money-back guarantee to be sure it's right. These are vehicles you'll be proud to own and thrilled to drive, like a 2015 Ford Fusion Hybrid for just $11,980, a 2017 Ford Escape for just $15,980, and a 2020 Ford Explorer XLT for just $39,980, plus about 100 more that are just as good. Sure, you can get a used car just about anywhere, but you'll only find a selection like this at Roswell Ford. So don't take chances. Come by and see us at Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main.
The University of New Mexico is committed to ensuring that residents of our state entering college for the first time can afford to pursue a bachelor's degree with the Lobo First Year Promise. Qualified first-time freshmen who have graduated from a New Mexico high school and have an annual family income of $50,000 or less will have base tuition and fees for full-time enrollment covered for the 22 to 23 academic year. Application deadline is March 1st. The Lobo First Year Promise at the University of New Mexico. Find out more at promise.unm.edu.
Where can you find the best selection of beautiful and unique home decor in the region? Easy, Casa Decor in Ruidoso. For years, people from all over have come to Casa Decor for the best selection of rustic, real wood furniture, beautiful decor from the Southwest and beyond, and quality outdoor furniture and accessories that are built to last a lifetime. At Casa Decor, they have over 10,000 square feet of showroom for everything you need. Casa Decor opens 7 days a week from 9:30 to 5 at 1214 Meacham Drive in Ruidoso or online at casadecorruidoso.com. Proud supporter of local high school sports.
I believe in the future of agriculture with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. That's the first line of the FFA Creed, a motto that binds more than 650,000 FFA members. It's a statement that they all believe in while focusing on academic and personal growth. National FFA Week gives members an opportunity to help others in their school and community learn about FFA and agricultural education. Join, volunteer, and support the FFA mission by visiting ffa.org. Happy National FFA Week from La Tienda Thriftway.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Pecans are a big deal here in Chaves County. We have some of the biggest orchards in the country, and lots of us have pecan trees in our yards. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether you have one pecan tree or 1,000 of them, this time of year, every pecan tree needs fertilizer. So come see us at Roswell Seed Company, and we'll get you fixed up with the right fertilizer for your pecan trees, so that next year, your nuts will be big and beautiful. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Honey, did you see the story in the Roswell paper recently about how Dennis Kintai and the city council want to spend $61 million on new baseball fields?
Yep, talk about out-of-control spending.
Yeah, they say it's a field of dreams, more like field of debt.
Definitely. Kintai and the council don't have their priorities straight. Remember, they wanted to spend $35 million on a new public safety complex. Thank goodness over 80% of voters rejected that boondoggle.
And meanwhile, Crime has gone up drastically over Kintai's last 4 years in charge.
Yeah, and Roswell's roads are a mess. Have you seen the sorry state that streets like North Garden are in? Potholes everywhere.
That's why we need Tim Jennings for mayor. Tim will control spending, hire more police officers, and fix our roads.
Let's send a message to City Hall that Roswell can't afford to spend $61 million on building new baseball fields. Vote Tim Jennings for mayor.
Paid for by Tim Jennings for mayor.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The word gorilla is derived from a Greek word meaning a tribe of hairy women. Mike recommends that if you see a tribe of hairy women, you don't call them gorillas. Here's Mike Winters.
Again, just sage advice. Good morning. It is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, candidate for City Council running in Ward 4, Alicia Gilmore joining us in studio this morning. Good morning. How are you today?
Great. Thank you for having me. How are you today?
Doing great. Thanks for spending time with us. And I forgot to thank Margaret, but as I do every time, thank you for stepping up and running. I mean, this is, the municipal elections are a different animal than your... I mean, even your state level county commission and on up. These are generally, it's municipal, so it's not, party driven. But it's really citizens, the people you meet in the street, the people you go to church with, the people you go and have dinner with or run into at the grocery store. These are those folks running town. So thank you for doing it. Win, lose, or draw. Thank you for stepping up and being a part and wanting to help our community. I think we need more people like you doing that. That's awesome.
You're welcome. Community service is my passion.
Well, and I wanted for you to give you a chance to kind of tell everybody about yourself. But I think a lot of people that do know you, probably the biggest thing they know you for is the Miss New Mexico side of things and doing that. So obviously to get that title and to achieve that milestone, community service is probably much a very, that's 101 stuff with Miss New Mexico and Miss America and that whole thing. Everything's kind of community, community driven, right?
Right. And I would say for the last 8 years or so, I have been heavily involved in the community.
Gotcha. So let's talk first about just do background here. Let's tell us how you got to be where you're at here. I mean, you've got a unique background with the Miss New Mexico and the pageant, that side of things. I know you sell real estate here now. So the stuff I know, tell the folks a little bit about yourself and just give a little bit of background about Alicia.
Awesome. Well, I was born here in Roswell.
Okay.
I went to Roswell High School, Sierra Middle School, Valley View Elementary. So okay. I spent my entire time in my ward, actually, Ward 4.
Nice. So you've lived, this is your whole life, Ward 4, basically.
Definitely.
Cool. Okay.
And I'm on the board of realtors where I'm a director.
Okay.
I serve on the community kitchen board as secretary.
Nice.
I just graduated the Leadership Roswell program.
Oh, I've been through it myself. It's an excellent program.
Mm-hmm, yes, and that's kind of where I was inspired and learned more about the city.
So you're a Rick Kraftite, I guess you could say?
Oh, yes.
Most people are when they come out of Leadership Roswell. Very good.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, was that your motivation? Like going through Leadership Roswell and you said, you know what? There's places I can do. Was that kind of your deciding factor to decide for City Council?
Yes, and actually 2 years ago, I stood up in class and I announced to everyone that I was going to be running for City Council in 2 years.
And here you sit. Very cool.
So I had to, I announced it and I stick to my plan. When I decide something, I go for it and I do it to my full effort.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you're serving as a real estate agent here, living, born, raised, bred in Ward 4 here.
Actually, so my grandfather is Tony Casares.
Okay.
And he owns Tony's Exterminating here in town.
Awesome. Okay.
My dad branched off into Tonex, and my brother's also in pest control.
Nice.
So I myself received my pest control license and termite license about 12 years ago.
Nice.
So I also do pest control.
So you can sell and buy houses for people and then make sure it's bug free.
I try.
That's kind of a jack of all trades there, huh? So let me ask, what don't you do? Maybe that's maybe the smaller list here.
I have a lot of support at home, so I have a small son.
Gotcha.
He's 3 years old, and anytime I need help, I have my family.
Yeah.
And so I'm able to go out and do all the things that I aspire to do.
So that's your support system, is your family, and allows you to go and help others, and because your family helps you, supports you. That's awesome.
Right. Family's huge to me.
It's the way it should be, I think,
Yeah, and Roswell's my family.
So I got to ask, when running for Miss New Mexico and things like that, I would imagine there's probably a lot of qualities from that experience that translate to city council. Kind of share that with me. Talk a little bit about that process, and some people may know the process, and others just see what's on TV and they see that side of it, and that's really just the glamorous, the tip of the iceberg of really what it is, what the public sees versus what goes on. So kind of talk about some of the stuff that you had to prepare for and train for as Miss New Mexico.
Well, I had a coach to teach me interview. We worked on my public speaking. We worked on my walking. We worked on everything about me.
Sure.
We really wanted to show my best qualities.
Gotcha.
And it takes work to be able to present yourself in that way, to be able to show that to the world.
I would also imagine it probably makes you think outside of the box and think about things you may or may not have, have it, because obviously when they select Miss Roswell, Miss New Mexico, Miss these various, they want well-rounded individuals. They want people that are well-versed on what's going on in our communities, in the political and the issues, climate, things like that. So really it probably forced you to get a little more worldly than most kids your age or people your age at that time would be doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so amazing to leave Roswell and meet people from all over the world, hear what they're doing, hear about their foundations, their education, their backgrounds, and kind of build off of that.
Sure.
It's fantastic.
Good deal. So let's talk city council stuff. Like you said, you decided you went through Leadership Roswell, and that kind of put running for city council on your radar. And like you said, you made the proclamation, I'm going to run here in 2 years when you graduated. So now that you're running here, what's why are you? What is the things that you're concerned about, or is there issues that the city have that you really want to address as city councilor, or is there programs you want to implement? Things like what's, now that you're running for city council, I'm sure there's visions and ideas and things you want to implement. Where is that taking you?
Well, I would love to implement a program for the properties like the Yucca Center property.
Yes.
Something that will build up our neighborhoods and, clean them up. If we put a new building where the Yucca Center was, the surrounding neighborhoods will want to improve also.
Gotcha.
And I think that that's a big thing for us, because we have a lot of neighborhoods here in town that are deteriorating and need help.
And Ward 4, correct me if I'm wrong, that ward kind of covers, obviously it's got south, but it also stretches in the north, I think, a little bit too. It's kind of a broad, as far as territorial-wise,
it's like an
ward.
L shape almost.
Yeah. So you get south end stuff, like you said, you're talking about the Yucca Center and things, and I know that's always been, I'm telling you, you've been here your whole life. There's always been a little bit of that north-south mindset. What they got in the north's nicer side. Just that whole mindset here, and I hope that's changing. What, in your opinion, do you think that, like you said, bringing more things to the south? I don't know if it's coming as fast as we all want it sometimes, but there has been some great growth on the south end of town in the last 10 years or so here.
Yes.
I got to imagine that's a good direction to go in.
Right? Yeah. For instance, Mr. Snowberger, he just redid his McDonald's.
Yeah, just opened up last Friday.
And that's fantastic. We need more of that.
Sure. And I'm sure, it's nice to see, obviously with the U-Haul coming in, where the Kmart, Planet Fitness, Dion's, I'm not going to start a fight here, but some will say the best pizza in town sitting right down at that end of town, but I'm not starting those fights. You all have those debates.
I was just there, so.
So let me ask about Ward 4, because like you said, you grew up there. Is there some unique issues there that's different from other wards, you think, or do you think it's all the same?
Well, I would say infrastructure is a huge deal that I hear a lot about from the residents. I go door knocking quite often, and, we don't have sidewalks all down Sunset. We have, so in my spare time, I like to go running.
Gotcha.
And in town, it's impossible to run on my side of town.
On your end of town, okay. Because there's not a lot of trails or just places to do that.
There's no sidewalk.
Gotcha.
I'll be running on the street, and, that's dangerous.
It can be. I've seen people drive in this community.
Exactly. So I like to stay off the road.
Very good. Well, let me ask the other way. What's like things right now? What things are you seeing the city do right now that you like, that you are for and want to, keep going as a city councilor? Is there certain issues or certain things you're like, man, that was a great idea. We need to throw more support behind that.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things. I really like the way that they keep the city code updated. With current times, things changing. For instance, the signs for the campaign.
Oh yeah, in the median, I guess they call. I don't know if that's what the right term is there, but that stretch of, if you had sidewalks, that stretch of grass between your sidewalk and the street.
It was a big deal, and so City Council was able to update to modern times.
Gotcha.
And I loved that. I also really like the Keep Roswell Beautiful program, and I think that expanding on that would be great. Roswell needs cleanup.
Yeah, absolutely. So really, would that be kind of I wouldn't say a mantra per se, but like if you left, say you do 4 years city council here, and you left in 4 years, if you got things cleaned up, that would make you, all right, I feel like I did something that's my goal when I was here is 4 years.
Sometimes I drive down some of these roads showing houses to buyers, and the roads and the yards and the sidewalks. And
I didn't think about that, but yeah. You probably have a unique perspective there as a real estate agent. You probably, I'm guessing real estate agents probably know the lay of the land better than probably anybody in town, just because,
we're driving up and down every
you're selling
street
it.
all day.
The values of everything, so you really know. You really have kind of your finger on the pulse on what areas are more desirable, what areas aren't as desirable, and things like that. So
yeah,
I would imagine as a real estate agent, that kind of helps you pinpoint and target some of these bad areas in our community.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I love my job. I love what I do, and I want to build on that.
Gotcha. So what do you do when you're not being Miss Roswell and real estate agent? What do you like to do when it's just you and your family? What's your downtime stuff?
Well, we love sports at my house.
Okay.
And my son is 3 years old. He just started soccer and basketball.
Okay.
So we're practicing all the time. And
okay. Are you sports? Are you athletic? Do you like to do athletic? You said you like to run, but do you like to play team sports and things too, or?
Yes, so I'm a long distance runner.
Okay.
I also weight train.
Okay.
I do pickleball.
Okay. So let me ask this: do you get a chance to go to the Recreation Aquatic Center and do some things there?
Yes.
What are your thoughts of that facility and things like that? Is it's something that you like, or do you think they missed the mark on it?
Both.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think it's perfect for our kids.
Mm-hmm.
The different gyms that they have separated for different classes is exactly what we needed. The pool situation I am unhappy with, and I've heard of other residents also being unhappy about this. So I think that we need to spend more time planning and even spend more time speaking to residents.
Gotcha. So maybe before making decisions like that, getting a lot more input and things.
Yes.
Before. Okay. Very good.
And I believe that city council meetings were a little longer back in the day. And I feel like now we're not getting the same feedback from, the people.
Gotcha. Okay. As far as, like we said, the good and the bad here, what, is there a temp pole issue? Like, is there, I know, like, is there, like, was there one thing, like you said, when you were going through Leadership Roswell and you're kind of learning, you're saying, hey, was there something that made you mad enough to where, like, you say, what, this is what's got to change? Was there any of those kind of moments for you, or any of those things where you saw something that you just thought was, I don't know, a travesty, or just something that needs to be addressed right now? There should be no excuse for that.
For me, I think it was more into coming into my role, because
Gotcha.
I'm ready to do this, and I'm ready to put in the work.
Gotcha.
And I want to make the changes that our town needs. We need some work done here in this town, and I'm willing to vote differently.
Gotcha.
Think differently. Think independently. I'm young. I'm a Hispanic woman.
Gotcha.
I feel like I have a different background.
A different take on things.
Right.
And you want to offer that to the city council.
Exactly.
Yeah. How are you with working with people and things like? If you come, I would imagine there's a lot of team building, leadership, like in Leadership Roswell. I imagine many same kind of things going through the Miss Roswell pageant and those things. How is that side of working? Because obviously we have the largest city council in the state of New Mexico with 10 members, very diverse, very diverse on their needs and thoughts and things too. How was your experience there with working with others, even working with people that may not necessarily agree with you? Yeah.
Well, I think that I take everybody's opinion and I create my own thought. And so I'm good with feedback, even if it's negative.
Okay.
It's constructive. And that's what we need in city council. We need opinions. We need to hear what people are thinking so that we can make the best Roswell for everyone.
Gotcha. Just out of curiosity, with the COVID last 2 years, what your thoughts on the city and how they've done overall with that? Happy, sad, mad, somewhere in between? What are your overall thoughts on just how the city council, how the city's handled really COVID in the last 2 years here?
COVID is sad in general.
Yeah.
And I think the kids and the businesses were really affected poorly. And they were affected the most in the last 2 years, the kids and the businesses. And so I think that, things could have been handled better. They could have been handled differently. But it was a new thing for us.
Sure.
We're in the middle of a pandemic, and we've never been where we've been.
Gotcha.
And so, to be in their shoes, it was tough for them.
Did you kind of agree with the stance on the governor? Obviously the city of Roswell kind of pushed back with the governor and some of that stuff. Were you happy to see that, or did that bug you a little bit? For me, mask wearing is my option, my opinion, and I feel like everybody should have their own option. So you're okay with them saying, you know what, we're not going to cow to your mandates. We're going to let people decide for themselves.
That's right. And I wore a mask the whole 2 years.
Gotcha.
But I was okay with other people not wearing their masks.
Sure. Gotcha. As long as they make that decision, then it's up to them.
Right.
And I understand what you're saying, because when you think about it, when you do anything health related, that's really your own decision and not someone else's and your family's decision. Whether, and I'm not even talking about wearing a mask or not wearing a mask. Even, you get diagnosed with cancer. At the end of the day, you're the one who decides whether you want to fight it or not, and I don't think anyone else should mandate how you handle that. And I think masks kind of fall in that same kind of, that's just my opinion. But anyway,
right.
I'm sharing more than I probably should.
It's the morning show. People are not even awake yet, so it's okay.
You find out when you say something wrong, they're awake here. But. So I'm just curious, what's obviously you're a very goal-oriented woman. You've got you've made this. I've made a decision. I'm going to go. So I got to ask, what's the future for you? Win, lose, or draw here with City Council. What's your goals for yourself and your family? Where do you hope to see yourself in, say, 10, 15 years from now?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Well, I want to grow my family.
Gotcha.
Right now we have one son. I'd like to have another child. And I'd like to get more involved in my son's sports and my son's school and, just really focus on family right now.
Is your plan to, like you said, you're born and raised here in Roswell. Ward 4, is that, you're like, I'm there till I die. Is that is that your plan? Is I'm a Roswell, never say never. I know life opportunities happen, things, but you'd be just content with, raising your family in Ward 4 and being a Roswell community member for the rest of your life.
I absolutely love Roswell, and I would like to see some growth here.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want to make it a great place for my son to stay.
Gotcha.
And so that's what I'm doing here.
So you want to stay here and make it better, so your family wants to stay when they're up to the point.
Exactly.
Because that is something that's always been a thing in this community, where we'll educate and get folks trained up, and then they go.
They leave.
Yeah. And so maybe
we need to keep them here.
Yeah, you're right. So maybe start with your kids, and then we'll work for the rest of them.
Exactly.
What's been the hardest thing about this campaign so far for you? Because obviously this is all new to you. You don't have you haven't run for office before and things like this that I'm aware of here. What's obviously there's probably been a learning curve for you here, but overall, what's been the experience, the campaign experience like for you? Good, bad, ugly, and different? I'm just curious what your thoughts have been so far with it.
Well, I've gotten great feedback when I'm outdoor knocking.
Okay.
And so that's been my favorite part so far.
Visiting with people in your ward.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's been challenging, really getting myself out there more so than with the pageant system because people look at different things.
Gotcha.
And so I'm really just trying to show people that I'm competent, I'm dependable, I'm smart, and I'm able to read through everything going on.
And if this question upsets you, I'm sorry, but I'm just genuinely curious about this. Obviously, your pageant background and things, are you dealing with assumptions? And what I mean by that is, I don't care if you've been watching pageants for 20 years, what's your biggest world peace? You know what I mean? There's that certain mindset they think of people that are in pageant stuff. Are you combating that and you're out there? Do you feel like you almost have to prove yourself? No, I'm not a pageant airhead. I got a brain. I've got thoughts. And I mean, and I'm not trying to say this upset. I'm just genuinely curious. Like, do people, do you have to earn that? Or do people, just because, you're a pageant, they're going to automatically have a set of assumptions about you and you have to fight that every time. Are you experiencing that? Or or am I just being, obtuse about this thought?
Well, I haven't experienced it to my face,
Gotcha.
But I feel like, I do want to present myself in a more professional manner.
Sure, I get that.
On a campaign, and, in the future.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to, I just wondering if there was a perception out there you're battling, and have you seen it, noticed it?
Yeah, I actually haven't had any issues with that because I'm out in the community so much that people know me.
Good. Gotcha. So, you're Ward 4, like you said, you're born and raised, they kind of know the people in your neighborhood. They we're a small community. And growing up as a kid, I'm sure those same people, probably some people live on your street. I remember
I used to babysit her.
Or, she was acting up and I had to go tell her parents to go reel her, you know what I mean? Because that happened too when we were kids. You act up in the street, then the neighbors tell you on you and all that. So that's how it happened. So growing up there, people know you. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I haven't really had any issues here in town.
And I was just curious about that because I don't get, people that come from the pageant world. And
I know.
I didn't know if they have to deal with those kind of stigmas or just... they're gonna, like when people are attractive, they automatically, you can't be smart and attractive. It's like you gotta be one or the other.
Yeah, and so that's why I'm trying to get out as much as I can, get my voice out, get my name out, and just kind of show people who I am.
Sure. Excellent. So what's harder, running for city council or the pageant side? Because I imagine they each have their own unique challenges, but for you, what's kind of the more challenging thing for you?
I would say the campaign.
Okay.
Because it's more personal with people that I grew up with, with my neighbors.
Sure.
And it's a family thing.
Sure.
I have my dad putting out signs. I have my grandma making calls. I have my cousin helping me deliver cupcakes to the police department. And it really is a family effort.
Gotcha. So. I'm curious, when you were running, when you were going for Miss Roswell and things, what were some of your passions as far as community service back then? Because I know you each have platforms and things like that. For you, what was the stuff that meant most to you?
For me, it's alcohol and drug addiction.
Okay.
And so I really wanted to focus on that.
Raise an awareness for that.
Yes. And even just last month, I traveled to a rehab center in Albuquerque and spoke to women in recovery.
Okay.
And, I just let them know
So that's near and dear to your heart and still do that kind of stuff even. How does that work as far as your pageant duties? Like, I mean, I know you got it for the year, but are you kind of by default for life that way, or you're kind of...
It's kind of a club.
Yeah, I mean, even though you're technically not, at the moment, Miss Roswell or whatever, but you still, it's kind of like president. You're always president. You're always Miss Roswell, but at the same time, you're also always got to be in that, when people that don't know you, they're going to expect, so you kind of almost have to put on the pageant face a little bit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I imagine that's something you probably got to deal with the rest of your life, I'm thinking. It's not a bad thing. I'm just one of those things.
Yeah. I love pageantry. It really taught me a lot about myself. It taught me confidence on stage and public speaking. I just learned a lot about myself in the process.
And I imagine, too, the big thing, and this is kind of underlying, and maybe you haven't even realized yet yourself, but it's gonna give you that ability to, which you need as a city councilor, I think, where you have the personal life and you've got your life and your family and friends, and then your city council side, or in your case earlier with Miss Roswell side, And so you almost have to put on that air or okay, I've got to act and be treated and treat people a certain way as this person. And so as city councilor, you got to be, as a civilian personalized, there's people that come up and tell you stuff. You're like, I don't care, go away. Mm-hmm. Now you have to listen to that and you have to say, you know what, I got to take that seriously, whether it's trivial or whether it is something serious, you have to put it that. So I would imagine your time in pageant training probably helps there a little bit too, because you almost have to deal with people that you normally wouldn't associate yourself with.
Right,
yeah.
Exactly. And I think it's going to help me a lot.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, which obviously, when we were talking about earlier, dealing with 10 different people, 10 different thoughts and values, and again, that comes back to able to make headway and at least get people to compromise in things when you need to.
Yeah, and I'm very open to new ideas, listening to new ideas, and honestly changing stances, once I hear new facts.
Gotcha. So I'm curious, assuming you get elected and things here, is that like the end game? Like I just want to be a city councilor and serve my community, or do you hope to make this into maybe a political aspiration? Say, you know what, after I'm done city council, maybe I'll run for mayor or county commission or state rep or something like that. I mean, is your aspirations to go that way, or do you want to just stick to Roswell and stick to home here?
I have no idea.
Gotcha.
Because I think mayor would be fantastic.
Okay.
Once I get a little, more experience under my belt,
sure.
More education, and some city council experience.
So never say never, but
right.
Kind of where the road takes you kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So let me ask this then. Say you don't get elected here on next week in Aldo. What's next for you? What do you want to do for yourself next? I'm just curious if you don't make a city councilor, you're like, do you want to keep trying, or you go like, no, I'm going to move on to the next phase? I mean, what's up for you? What do you want to do personally?
So if I don't win, I will try again next year.
Excellent.
I have the signs.
So you're determined. You're like, this is something I'm going to go for. Good.
I am determined. I will get in there eventually.
Cool.
They'll see me in there one day.
Awesome. I'm just curious. I was like, because I know you're in a mode. It's like I haven't thought past next Tuesday yet. I get it, but. But, in all reality, you're kind of like, well, what do I do on Wednesday if I'm not city councilor?
No, I'm a planner. I've thought about it, and I do plan to run again if I don't get on. And I do plan to get on city council one day.
Nice.
So if it's not this year, it will be.
It's like someday you're going to see me sitting up there, and I'm going to be trying to help our community.
Exactly.
Very cool. If folks want to learn more about Alicia or get involved, maybe help you pass out signs or knock on doors with you, what's the best way to reach out and get a hold of you?
Oh, I have a website.
Okay.
It's AliciaGilmoreForCityCouncil.com.
Okay.
And I have a Facebook I'm very active on, so that anyone can contact me on my campaign page or my private page.
Okay. Very good. Just reach out there. And then finally, I want to do anything we didn't talk about, anything you want to make sure you let people out there know about you or your campaign. I want to give you the opportunity in case we missed it or just didn't get a chance to talk about it. I want to give you that opportunity to say all that stuff.
Okay, yes. So I'm asking for a chance to show you that I can lead Roswell in the right direction. I have integrity, I'm honest, I'm dependable, and I go above and beyond for my community. I communicate well and I care for others. I'm also a problem solver. So I feel like I am the best choice for Ward 4. I do have a meet and greet tomorrow at the Chamber of Commerce at 5:30 p.m.
So come in, meet and greet.
Yes, come and meet and greet. Judy Stubbs will also be there.
Okay, so folks in Ward 3 want to talk with her?
Yes. So me from Ward 4, Judy Stubbs from Ward 3 will be there tomorrow for an hour.
Excellent. What time was that starting again? I'm sorry.
5:30 p.m.
5:30 p.m. And like I said, it's come and go. I'll be there an hour, so if you don't get off work and you can't make it till 6, you guys will be hanging out to about 6:30.
Yes, that's right. Probably till 7.
Okay, very good. Depending on I'm guessing the conversation.
The conversation, the turnout. So
yeah, I guess 6:30 hits like, oh, we're done talking. Sorry,
Later.
Yeah. I know though, you probably want to do that sometimes, you're like, oh, but you can't. But great. So come out and meet there, and of course, if you want to get involved more with the campaign, you can come out tomorrow and talk during that meet and greet too. If you don't want to get online and do the social media stuff. So very good. Is there anything we missed?
I want to just put out my number just in case anyone wants to contact me. My number is 575-208-4606. I'm open to speaking with anybody about any issue, so give me a call.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for spending some time with us here, and love to have you back on again. City councilor, you get elected. I say it every time, and you guys have open, anytime you guys want to come on and talk or issues or, just give me a holler. Love to help out there. So
Thank you. Thank you for your time this morning.
Anytime, and good luck to you.
And thank you to the listeners.
Very good. Excellent. Well, thank you, ma'am. We'll see you next time. All right. It is 8:49. Let's go ahead and pause for some news, local news, weather, town hall business, and commercials to pay for lunch. Got to do that. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. A Carlsbad man who was arrested for a disturbing rape in a convenience store now has more charges filed against him. Kenneth Miller is charged with kidnapping and attempted armed robbery after he was originally charged with rape, robbery, and larceny. Police allege that Miller went on a crime spree the night of February 13th along Pierce Street, ending at the convenience store, where a SWAT team had to fish him out of the store when the woman he was raping escaped and called for help. In court, a preliminary hearing is scheduled today for a man accused of 7 counts of human trafficking in Roswell. 53-year-old Jose Pina is being held on a $25,000 bond after his arrest earlier this month during a traffic stop. A sheriff's deputy reported that 7 passengers were hiding in Pina's minivan. They admitted to being in the country illegally and said that Pina had been hired to take illegal workers to various work sites every day. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. It's considered good luck in Japan when a sumo wrestler makes your baby cry. But who gets the good luck? The sumo wrestler or the baby? Here's Mike Winters.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty mild today, but we'll be cooling off tomorrow with a cold front rolling through eastern New Mexico. In the meantime, about 70 on our afternoon high. It'll be breezy, and we should get plenty of sunshine. Overnight, that cold front drops in with our low around 30 and a few clouds. Then we're back to sunshine on Wednesday, but it will be quite a bit cooler and breezy, our high near 50. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Rents have exploded across the country, causing many to dig deep into their savings, downsize to subpar units, or fall behind on payments and risk eviction now that a federal moratorium has ended. In the 50 largest U.S. metro areas, median rent rose 19.3% from December 2020 to December 2021. The sister of Wall Street fraudster Bernie Madoff and her husband were found dead in what investigators said was an apparent murder-suicide in Florida. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office on Sunday identified the couple as 87-year-old Sandra Weiner of Boynton Beach and her 90-year-old husband Marvin. Madoff was known for orchestrating a massive Ponzi scheme that wiped out people's fortunes and ruined charities. He was sentenced to 150 years in prison after pleading guilty in 2009 to fraud and other charges and died in prison at age 82 last year. The markets were closed Monday for President's Day. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Hi, Roswell. I'm Guy Malone, candidate for mayor. Welcome to my non-mudslinging political campaign ad. I want you to visit roswellguy.com to find out about all the good reasons you have to actually vote for someone, not vote against someone. Refreshing idea, hey? Well, I've got lots more where that came from. You know and I know that Roswell is destined for same stuff, different year if we don't vote for positive changes that bring Roswell's politics and economy into the 21st century. Malone for mayor, roswellguy.com. Paid for by Guy Malone from Roswell.
Time to double up and save at Roswell Honda.
Double your refund.
That's right. Roswell Honda wants to double up your tax refund up to $4,000 towards your next vehicle. And with clearance prices across the lot, you can walk in, double up, and drive away today in a 2014 Yukon for just $379 a month, a 2014 Civic for just $249 a month, or a 2017 Escape for just $199 a month. Zero down, no payments for 4 months, free AirPods with a test drive, and double your refund.
Time to double up.
On now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
When it comes to the security of your home or business, you want a local company, not a faceless national company, but one that has a personal investment right here in Southeast New Mexico. Xena Security Services is your local Honeywell dealer, and they specialize in service after the sale. They can handle all of your business and residential alarm and cameras, as well as home theater installation, all with contracts on your terms and all from a local company. The real Xena Security Services, right here in Southeast New Mexico. Call today, 626-3521. Protection with a local touch.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical. To remember.
We're rolling out the red, white, and blue carpet for Big O's President's Day sale, bringing you the very best deals from the biggest brands. From February 21st to the 27th, shop select sets of Michelin tires at your neighborhood Big O and get a $70 reward card. But that's not all. We're also giving you free installation. You deserve the presidential treatment, and that's exactly what we offer. Head to Big O for trusted service, expert auto care, and great prices on tires, brakes, oil changes, and more. This week only, get a $70 reward card when you buy select Michelin tires, plus free basic installation. Shop the President's Day sale at your local Big O, February 21st through the 27th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees extra and at the 10% shop fee based on non-discounted regular retail price not to exceed $35 where permitted. Void where prohibited. Additional retailer offer advertised within is independent from the manufacturer's offer. Upgraded installation packages available at additional cost. See store for details.
If you're a person who has more to do than you have hours in your day, and everything seems to take priority over your own health, then you're going to love the Loveless MyChart Secure Patient Portal. You can message your doctor, make an appointment, or view lab results anytime, day or night, on your computer or smartphone. Print a list of your medications at the click of a mouse, or even compare previous tests to map your health progress. Loveless MyChart connects you to better health, anywhere, anytime.
Wakefield Oil Express has the highest quality service in Roswell with a 17-point full-service oil change that includes a full wash and vacuum at their car wash. You won't find a better deal. They also offer full synthetic oil changes, fuel and cabin filter replacements, and will even check your battery. Their tunnel wash isn't afraid of dirty vehicles. They have the best value wash in town with free vacuums. They even offer wash passes that can be used for multiple vehicles. Next time you need your oil changed, go to the fast and efficient Wakefield Oil Express and let them earn your business. 3204 North Main, Roswell.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The average person spends only 10 minutes a day speaking. Many wish Mike Winters was more like the average person. Here's Mike Winters.
Some less, too. Good morning. It is 8:58. Sorry, it just reminded me of some of the things I get from time to time. It's like, do you ever not talk? Apparently not. Good morning. It is 8:58. Stay tuned next hour, about 9:15 or so. We're going to have Peggy Boland join us. A lot of times, she wears many hats. We've had her on with Leadership Roswell, with the Roswell Public Library. She's putting on her Camp Invention hat next hour, which is happening for 2022. In June here, we'll get all the skinny, the details, the theme, everything that's planned for this year's Camp Invention. It's a great, if you're a parent of a child, elementary age child, even early middle school as well too. I highly recommend you check out next hour's interview with Peggy. Great opportunity through Camp Invention. These kids work on these STEM. It's a weekday camp of fun STEM related. They build little robots and toys and various things. They understand, and they learn these lessons through all this stuff. It's really cool, and kids will love it. But Peggy's going to join us next hour about 9:15 to talk all about that. Town Hall News is coming up next. We'll be back on the other side of Town Hall News with the full final hour of today's show. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. We'll be back. Don't go away.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Washington. The White House has begun referring to Russian troop deployments in eastern Ukraine as an invasion. That's a red line President Biden has said would result in the U.S. levying severe sanctions against Moscow. Also today, several European leaders said that Russian troops have moved into rebel-held areas in eastern Ukraine after Vladimir Putin's recognized their independence. Our military affairs analyst, retired Lieutenant Colonel Robert McGinnis, says Putin's actions could be a prelude to a new world order.
Mr. Putin has long suggested that the demise of the former Soviet Union was the worst catastrophe of the 20th century, and he's made it clear that the Russia-Ukraine empire ought to be reestablished.
Action from London today as well. Prime Minister Boris Johnson says Britain is slapping sanctions on 5 Russian banks and 3 wealthy individuals over Russia's latest military moves on Ukraine. The Supreme Court has agreed to hear a new clash involving religion and LGBT. The High Court will hear the case of a Christian web designer who is fighting Colorado's anti-discrimination law. Lori Smith says her religious beliefs would lead her to decline any request from a same-sex couple to design a wedding website. The 3 men convicted of murder in Ahmaud Arbery's fatal shooting were found guilty of federal hate crimes this morning for violating Arbery's civil rights and targeting him because he was black. The jury reached its decision after several hours of deliberation. The crisis in Ukraine, spiking oil prices, and plunging prices, stock prices that is, on Wall Street. The Dow down 280 points, the NASDAQ off by 74. More details at townhall.com.
There's one box that you'd run back into your burning house to grab. It's the box filled with your videotapes, film reels, and photos. Those sentimental, meaningful, irreplaceable moments. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger. We started Legacy Box over a decade ago so that we could help families save their memories from being destroyed by floods or fires.
And it's not just natural disasters, Adam. Every day, videotapes and photos are slowly fading away, decaying, neglected in closets and attics.
Digitizing your old media stops fading, and preserving those recordings means they are safe forever. It's like magic, converting your shoebox of memories into digital files, ready to watch and share.
It's the only way to ensure your legacy is safe for generations. That's why over 1 million families have already trusted Legacy Box. Legacy Box is simple and easy, it works, and is safe. We'd love to preserve your family's collection. Don't wait, the risk is too great.
Visit legacybox.com/LBox to save 40%. That's legacybox.com/LBox to get started and save. legacybox.com/LBox.
U.S. women's soccer players have reached a landmark agreement to end a 6-year legal battle over equal pay.
Under the deal between the U.S. Soccer Federation and the women, players will split $22 million, which is about a third of what they had sought in damages. The USSF also agreed to establish a fund with $2 million to benefit the players in their post-soccer careers and charitable efforts aimed at growing the sport for women. In addition, the Soccer Federation committed to equal pay for both the women's and men's national teams, including World Cup bonuses, all subject to collective bargaining agreements to replace the deal that expires at the end of March. I'm Shelley Adler.
A fire aboard a ship carrying thousands of new cars in the mid-Atlantic is dying out. A Portuguese Navy officer says the huge vessel is expected to be towed to the Bahamas. News and analysis at townhall.com. Hong Kong is ordering all residents to be tested for the coronavirus.
Hong Kong has seen an exponential rise in infections, overwhelming the city's public healthcare system. It's already home to some of the world's toughest COVID restrictions, but since the start of February, it's seen a surge in daily cases. The authorities say the number of residents awaiting quarantine or isolation in government facilities now number in the thousands. Hong Kong residents will be required to test 3 times under the new scheme. Gatherings of more than 2 people are banned, and most venues across the city are closed.
That's the BBC's Danny Vincent. Dubai's main airport is the world's busiest for international travel, with around 29 million passengers passing through last year. It's good news for the tourism-driven economy of Dubai, also a sign that international travel has picked up since the beginning of the pandemic. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Roy, there's somebody at the door. Tres Inviernos.
Thank you, Roy. Yes, Roy, our guest is at the door. I got a phone call. He was on the phone. So the phone rang over to me right before I started talking. Mm-hmm. So I apologize to Peggy. I just hung up on you. But Roy, Peggy's downstairs. Hopefully I can't tell if he's still on the phone or not.
Yeah, he's on the phone, I think, but...
All right.
Wrap it up.
We're using our intercom system to be down there, so...
I got it!
Checking you all stepping up. Good morning. Welcome. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Happy hour 3, everybody. So I was going to talk about something, but Sean just went in, and so I'll get to that in a minute here. While I get them back in here, let me tell you about a couple things. Peggy Boland. Yeah, they're on their way down, I promise. Peggy, before Peggy gets up in here and talks to us about Camp Invention, this weekend we got a lot going on. Of course, Roswell Community Little Theater, they have their production of Four Old Broads. Opening weekend is this weekend, and they'll do it again next weekend as well. February 25th, 26th, and 27th, March 4th, 5th, and 6th. The 25th and 26th, those are Friday and Saturday evening performances at 7:30. February 27th will be a Sunday matinee at 2:30. And then they'll do it all over again March 4th, 5th, and 6th. 4th and 5th, Friday, Saturday night, 7:30. On the 6th at 2:30 p.m. Tickets are available right now at roswelltheater.com. It's a fun little play. If the Golden Girls were retold today, you would have Four Old Broads.
Although I think it's based in like the 60s?
The play itself?
I think.
I'm not sure. I just know that's how they kind of...
I just know there's old Elvis involved.
Yes, there's an Elvis impersonator. I'm not sure if he's Elvis, but maybe...
I don't want to give away too much of the story, but...
But speaking of Elvis, opening night, Friday night, come in your best Elvis.
Yes.
And they'll give you a free ticket to the show. They're going to, have a little Elvis off. And as I say every time, you do you version of Elvis, whether it's 50s svelte Elvis. Svelvis. If it's 60s movie star Elvis.
Pelvis.
Or bloated 70s Elvis.
Melvis.
You do that. Mm-hmm. You do you there. So.
I do appreciate the fact that Chris, who's playing the Elvis in this play, has been growing out his mutton chops for the last couple of months.
Maybe even go 30s child Elvis. Maybe for the kids. Dress him up as child Elvis.
Yelvis.
Just don't do his brother. That would be wrong.
That was Purvis.
Well, that was the twin.
Oh,
the Molin's back.
right, yeah.
The twin is buried. It was apparently it was like something on him. It was something. Yeah. I don't know all the stories about Elvis, but I know there's something there going on with the twin, and it was like on his. I don't know the whole story. I'm not Elvis lured up, but something like that. I do want to mention this now that you both are now back in. Sean pointed out, and it is 2/22/22 day.
Yes, and it's a Tuesday.
That is a lot of EBGB going on right there.
A lot of numerology happening.
I did see someone on my Facebook, one of my friends, longtime friends, said happy 2/22/22, and also happy World Thinking Day for the Girl Scouts. So if you're the Girl Scouts, make sure you think today. I just thought that was an unusual World Thinking Day.
All right.
I guess it's a Girl Scout thing. I don't know. I've never heard of it before, but I mean, it's not a bad thing.
Takes time.
I'm just thinking. It's like on World Thinking Day. I'm thinking. We need a day to remind people to think.
Well, I think we need a day to remind people to think things through all the way. I mean, 'cause we think, obviously, just like move my hand, I'm thinking that, but to sit down and contemplate.
I think there's more to World Thinking Day than what I'm thinking.
They should call it World Contemplation Day.
Yeah. Now, when you're thinking and you have the thought, does it turn to World Thought Day, or are you still thinking?
At that point, you're having thoughts. And it's World Thought Day. That's actually in April.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think I need to figure out a little bit more about this.
But yeah, at 2:22 and 22 seconds today, it'll be the first time it's happened in, I think, obviously 100 years. But
so
they said
2/22/22 on 2/22/22.
They said that on a Tuesday won't happen like this for another 500 or 600 years or something like that.
Okay.
So it's kind of a cool phenomenon.
All right.
I don't know if that means you get a scratcher today or what, but I mean, I'm guessing luck's in the air. Then again, the inverse of that could also be true. It could just be a real, terrible day for you.
So what's a bigger impact day? 2/22/22 or 1/11/11?
I mean,
I watched that one.
I'd have to argue 2/22/22 because it's the most fun to say.
Yeah.
I got to see the clock strike at 11:11 on November 11th, 2011.
Nice.
Like, do you think something momentous happened in the year of our Lord, January 11th in 11/11?
Possibly. The plague? I don't know.
I'm just wondering,
I have to go back and look at my scrolls to figure it out. But
I'm just, we talk at 2/20. Do you think back on January 11th of 11/11, they were going, it's a 1/1/1/1/1, we're all going to go.
I think it was like National Binary Day or something like that.
Back then, they're probably believing in dragons and stuff. I don't know, what's going on.
I did see a meme about the 1820 as bubonic plague or black plague. It might be something. And then 1920 or 1720, 1820, 1920, and then 2020, and it's the Rick Astley. It's the rules, and so do I.
Yeah,
I think it's just a lot of people thinking too much on World Thinking Day.
Hey, put some thought to it.
One thing I don't have to think much about. Peggy Bolin is going
true.
to come in and bring us some awesome sauce.
That's
talking
true.
about Camp Invenciones. Ooh, what do I got here? 7777. What about those boys in the 70s?
Yeah. I don't know. Did anything significant happen on that day?
I don't remember what I was doing on July 7th of 1977. It's before my brother was born, about a year before he was born. So
probably playing with blocks.
I would imagine getting into some nefarious stuff, playing with did we have our puppy by 70? My first sissy, my original sissy OG. I probably got right around 77, 78. Airedale. I want to say, maybe just later, because my mother was pregnant with Christopher when we got Sissy 1.
Okay.
So that would have been probably early 78. He was born in December, so I'm going to say...
Well, that's significant.
That's not quite 77. So I know where I was living.
I
was living in Forestville, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of... I know I'm getting way off base here, but I grew up in Forestville, Maryland, a place called Kirtland Avenue. It's in PG County, bad part of town. I would not live there today.
Sure.
It is a shady element. But I grew up there, and we talk about race and all this stuff. This is where maybe my perspective is different than other people. I was the minority.
Yeah.
I grew up, and my first good friends as little kids were black kids because that's who lived in my street.
Sure.
We were all buddy. I didn't know there was a difference.
Right.
I learned that till I got older. And people were like, oh, so that's why I'm always so, when I talk about race, I'm like, really, treat people how you treat people, and that's how they're going to treat. Because I ain't gonna lie, I grew up in the minority for a lot of you know, as I was the minority in the room for many times, and I understand isolation, but I also understand when people just treat you that way, you act out, you know. So I guess I have a different perspective. So when people talk race, I'm like, it's not hard. Y'all been taught things, and it's all taught. You aren't squirted onto this earth having those racist vibes.
True.
So,
very true.
teach it. Anyway, sorry. Done soapboxing. I just want to get talking about twos. It is 9:15. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty mild today, but we'll be cooling off tomorrow with a cold front rolling through eastern New Mexico. In the meantime, about 70 on our afternoon high. It'll be breezy, and we should get plenty of sunshine. Overnight, that cold front drops in with our low around 30 and a few clouds. Then we're back to sunshine on Wednesday, but it will be quite a bit cooler and breezy, our high near 50. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, did I refresh? I don't think I did. Oh, yes, I did. Could be. Currently 53 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 28%. Winds are out of the south at 15 miles per hour. Nice day today. Sunny skies, a high of 71. Little breezy this afternoon, but nothing we can't handle. Southeast winds 10 to 15 this morning, 15 to 20 for the afternoon. Partly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 30 degrees and south winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, mostly sunny, highs near 50 expected, so a lot cooler tomorrow. Northeast winds 15 to 20 miles per hour, and we're going to linger in the 50s probably for the rest of the week, to the weekend at least. 52 and sunny on Thursday. Friday, looking at sunny skies, highs once again right around 52, and then a smidge warmer for the weekend. Sunny on Saturday, highs near 60, 59 officially Saturday, and then sunny and 62 on Sunday. All right, it is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 4-minute commercial break, and then we're going to talk camp invention with Peggy Bolin on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Honey, did you see the story in the Roswell paper recently about how Dennis Kintai and the city council want to spend $61 million on new baseball fields?
Yep, talk about out-of-control spending.
Yeah, they say it's a field of dreams, more like field of debt.
Definitely. Kintai and the council don't have their priorities straight. Remember, they wanted to spend $35 million on a new public safety complex. Thank goodness over 80% of voters rejected that boondoggle.
And meanwhile, crime has gone up drastically over Kintai's last 4 years in charge.
Yeah, and Roswell's roads are a mess. Have you seen the sorry state that streets like North Garden are in? Potholes everywhere.
That's why we need Tim Jennings for mayor. Tim will control spending, hire more police officers, and fix our roads.
Let's send a message to City Hall that Roswell can't afford to spend $61 million on building new baseball fields. Vote Tim Jennings for mayor.
Paid for by Tim Jennings for mayor.
Ed Heldenbrand, candidate for city council. He's a patriot fighting against the waste of your tax dollars. As a CPA and chief financial officer with over 35 years of experience, Ed understands the importance of managing budgets. By reducing the wasteful spending in the budget, we can lower your city water, sanitation costs, and work to reduce city fees. Roswell's potential is hurt by bad ideas and wasteful spending. Ed Hildebrand will never vote to shut down Roswell. He'll fight the job, education, and freedom-killing mandates from Santa Fe. It's important that taxpayers see improvements in our roads and city services to attract jobs, businesses, tourists, and to create an environment for local businesses to thrive. In Ward 3, you have a choice. Vote Ed Heldenbrand, the conservative candidate. With your vote, we can build a better Roswell.
I'm Ed Heldenbrand, City Council candidate for Ward 3, asking for your vote on Tuesday, March 1st. It's not about me, it's about we, and I approve this message.
Roswell Skin Center, a brand new state-of-the-art facility located in the 400 Penn Plaza building here in Roswell, is now accepting new patients. Dr. Brandon Cometti and his team offer a full range of skin care services, including general dermatology, surgical and cosmetic procedures, including cutting-edge laser rejuvenation, Botox, filler, laser hair removal, chemical peels, and other non-invasive options to improve skin health and turn back the hands of time. Call and schedule your appointment at Roswell Skin Center today. 208-2509. That's 208-2509.
A good night's sleep is so important. Did you know that proper sleep supports a healthy heart, decreases chances of weight gain, and boosts a positive mood? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental. It doesn't matter your age, sleeping issues can make any of us reach for that all-day cup of coffee. If you know you are not sleeping because of severe snoring or sleep apnea, come visit us. We can make you a small oral appliance that will help you sleep better and live better.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 622-4455.
Austin Industrial is currently seeking a janitorial staff position to work in the Holly Frontier Refinery. You will be responsible for cleaning and sanitizing offices, meeting rooms, bathrooms, kitchen and dining room, and public areas. No minimum education requirements are needed, no experience is required, and pay is $13.50 an hour for this full-time 40-hour-a-week position. Apply at austin-ind.com or call Miss Cookie Look at 832-657-3385. Austin Industrial is an equal employment opportunity employer.
Hi, Roswell. I'm Guy Malone, candidate for mayor. Welcome to my non-mudslinging political campaign ad. I want you to visit roswellguy.com to find out about all the good reasons you have to actually vote for someone, not vote against someone. Refreshing idea, hey? Well, I've got lots more where that came from. You know and I know that Roswell is destined for same stuff, different year if we don't vote for positive changes that bring Roswell's politics and economy into the 21st century. Malone for mayor, roswellguy.com.
Paid for by Guy Malone for Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits or the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, wearing her Camp Invention hat this morning, Peggy Boland back with us. Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. You know, it's funny. I think I've talked to you about this before, but because you're my mother and you share a same first name, and it's, to me, it's kind of unique because Margaret. And I don't know where in the lexicon of life this happened, but Peggy is a nickname for the name Margaret.
Right, it's an Irish nickname.
Yeah, I never knew the connection, but and so my mom was Margaret, and she went by Peggy. But the funny part was when I grew up as a kid in Waldorf, and this was like 80s time frame, we lived in a cul-de-sac, and there was 3 houses in the cul-de-sac. There was ours, and then the 2 neighbors. All 3 of us. My mother was Peggy. The wife at this house and the wife at this house were both Peggy's too. All 3 Peggy's in one area, and all were Margarets that were Peggy.
Yeah, and it used to be a very popular name.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was in elementary school, there was 2 other Peggy's in my class.
Yeah.
Now, you don't hear any
It's pretty
kids.
rare.
I think there should be a campaign. There should be more Peggy's out there.
Yeah.
Let's bring it back. Man.
I still never understood how they got Peggy from Margaret, and I don't.
I do have a theory, but I can share with you. I'll share it
another
with you
day at another
after
time.
the program.
Very good. Because I've never made that connection. I asked my mom, she's like, I don't know.
My theory sticks, though.
Gotcha. Okay. For folks that aren't aware, let's probably start there and talk about Camp Invention. How many years now have you been doing Camp Invention?
I think this is my 15th.
15th year, and it's an amazing program where it gives kids an opportunity to get exposed to STEM and STEM-related projects in fun ways. It's not, they get to learn the boring formulas and things through fun, exciting things. They put the STEM to practice. And so
it's all hands-on.
Yeah. So for them, it's their, for the kids, it's building toys and building robots and breaking down a microphone or something like that and trying to understand how it works. But in actuality, these kids are learning engineering skills, they're learning math skills, they're learning science, and they're learning, technical hands-on things. They're really learning all these cool things under the guise of a fun project.
Right. And there's 4 modules, of course, this year, and every year is different.
Yeah.
And Camp Invention is a national camp. There's only over 1,400 in the nation.
And this is put on by the people
National Inventors Hall of Fame.
Yeah, these are the folks like when you they're the ones like back in the day. Do you remember those commercials? Like, do you have an invention that you would like to get a patent for or something?
Right.
Like? Are these the same people that the same organization that did?
I don't
those
think
back
the
in the
same
day?
organization.
Okay. But same kind of thing.
Right. Oh,
And
yes.
and so they put this Camp Invention out to get more kids exposed to STEM and things. At the same time, creating. Hopefully our next person that creates the next great widget or the next great device that society can't live without. That's the idea, is to create the people, the will in the people to make the next cool thing for us. And so
right, exactly.
That's what it's all about. Now, the great news is this is geared primarily for elementary age kids. For your early middle school, do you still have like the CIT program and everything for them?
Yeah, the leader in training.
Yeah, LIT. That's what you call them.
It
LIT.
used to be CIT.
Yeah, well, and in my Boy Scout days, we had CIT, so I have that nomenclature in my head.
Right.
I got to get it out of there. But yeah, if you're interested, so talk about specifics as far as ages and all that this is open to.
Okay, so Camp Invention is June 6th through the 10th. It's going to be at the First Methodist Church this year.
Okay, new
which is on the
location?
corner of 2nd and Pennsylvania.
Yeah, First United Methodist Church here, beautiful facility. They got like a whole school there, really.
It's really nice.
Yeah, it is.
And I talked to the ladies there, and they were all for it, which is lovely, and they're very supportive, which is good.
Yeah,
like last year's was too, And so it's for children entering kindergarten through 6th grade.
Okay.
And you mentioned the middle school program. That's for kids entering 7th through 9th grade.
Gotcha. So 6 on down, kindergarten, is I guess, as a camper in the program.
Right.
And then
right.
an LIT for your 7th and 8th graders.
7th, 8th, and 9th.
7th, 8th, and 9th
Going
graders.
into those grades.
Cool. Very good.
Right. And the cost of the camp did go up, as everything did. Inflation is killing us now.
Well, but the good news is everything the child needs to participate in the camp is included. Like the various projects, which we'll talk about here in a bit, they'll work. That includes all of the material for that, the curriculum at the program. Does it cover snacks and things too? I think as part of that.
No, those are donated.
Gotcha. Okay, but with your admission, they get that stuff. So,
Right.
Yeah. Very cool.
Which is nice, and T-shirt. Of course,
Absolutely.
everybody
And the
gets a T-shirt.
and of course, the projects they get to take home and keep. There'll be a presentation, graduation ceremony at the end that the families participate in and kind of see the fruits of the labor for the week with their children and things like that too. So it's all part of that. So.
Right. We actually don't have that program at the end anymore.
Oh, no? I'm
because
telling you lies.
COVID changed things.
I gotcha. I forgot about that.
It was okay. I mean, so we just had the full day on Friday instead of,
so
making it.
they're just in there doing their thing all day Friday. Cool.
As they should anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, why cut it short for a program?
Sure.
It makes sense to me.
That's a valuable extra hours that they can work on.
Exactly.
The robot or whatever they're working on that time. So
exactly.
Very cool. Like you said, this is geared for elementary, and of course, it's all age appropriate. So the kids that are kindergartens are going to be working on projects that are more to their level. Your 5th and 6th graders are going to be doing something a little bit more advanced to their levels. So.
Yes.
But it's a lot of fun. The kids get to interact, and so you get that other great side of kids together, especially, granted, kids have been in school for a year now, but it's been a different world. We're still playing catch up with getting kids to where they need to be on the assessment levels as far as reading, writing, and math and science
socially.
and all this, and socially as well. And that's where this helps. Because they're getting the STEM and they're getting all the technical side that we're talking about, but they're also getting the ancillary stuff, the stuff that will serve them long past they're into their adulthood. Things like working in groups, interacting with people that you never met before, talking, teamwork, skill, just communication and how to interact with a group of 3 people or 5 people in a project together. All those things that you can't really teach your children, they just have to experience it. And that's where this Camp Invention brings all of that to it, on top of the fact, oh, by the way, they're going to get them into, learning about, rocketry or whatever the different projects are this year.
Right.
Yeah. Which kids love. I mean, that's the fun part. So let's talk about the projects. Let's talk about the different, what's the term you use?
Modules.
Module. That's the term I wanted to. Let's talk about the different modules that are going to be at this year's camp.
Well, I love this flyer this year. And there is a code on here, by the way. Save $25 with the code. And we'll talk about
discounts.
And
we'll get all about that here in a little bit. Yeah.
But anyway, this flyer basically shows a typical day of the 2022 program.
Okay.
And so the first one's called Robotic Aquatics. Campers create a habitat for a robotic fish, and they get a little robotic fish.
Oh, cool.
Complete with a symbiotic friend, and then take their fish home in its mini tank.
Nice.
So that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
So that's, they're learning about habitats.
So in the tank, is there water?
I don't think so.
Okay, I didn't know if they were making
I'm not sure.
I was wondering if they had to make a waterproof robot underwater to work in the fish.
No, I think
cool,
if there is water, then of course the fish is water safe.
Gotcha. Very cool. I'm cool. That's cool. I like that. It's a neat perspective. So I imagine, obviously, they learn about robotics and that side of thing, but they also learn about oceanography and water and fish and what fish need to survive, and more than just water and what's in the water they need. They probably learn a little bit of all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool.
Another one is Spacecation. Of course, I like this one. Inspired by real space exploration, campers construct space packs and astro arm devices, kind of like the robotic arm.
Oh, cool.
What is it, Canadarm on the space shuttle?
Yeah.
Astro arm devices, mine asteroids, and observe ice volcanoes.
Nice. So they get to kind of do some of that engineering side there and create
there's the engineering, space engineering.
Yeah,
exactly.
and at the same time kind of pretend, because obviously they're not going to space.
No, but
that'd be pretty impressive. But
10, 20 years, we're sending astronauts to Mars. So
these kids that they learn,
these kids are the ones who would be going.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
generation.
If it's you're putting in the seeds, planting the seeds for
exactly. And this is a
cool.
STEM camp, which science, technology, engineering, and math.
Yeah,
that's we're getting all that in here.
Absolutely. All right, so that's Spacecation. Let's talk about the next module.
Okay, it's National Inventors Hall of Fame's The Attic.
Okay.
And this one incorporates art.
Okay.
Now, sometimes you'll hear STEM, sometimes you'll hear STEAM.
Yeah.
And STEAM has the A for art.
Okay, so a little STEAM in this one.
Right. It's combining science and art to build their own robotic artists. Campers make spin art and learn that everyone can be creative.
Nice. Very cool.
So that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's great. And then using technology to make creativity.
Mm-hmm.
And so melding the worlds together, that's pretty cool. So,
right.
Yeah, I like that.
Right.
And then there's one more module.
Right, and the other module is Marble Arcade.
Okay.
Campers get their game on as they experiment with the fun of physics and engineering to build their own mega marble arcades.
Nice. So basically, they probably got to get the marble to navigate through something, and using physics and everything else, they learn, various things like gravity and
right. And it's kind of like Rube Goldberg.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know anything about Rube Goldberg, his creations are amazing.
Yeah. So think of that. So that'll be a lot of fun. So maybe getting them in the bug for that and seeing who know. I could see some kids easily coming out of that, and they're creating like you see those big domino trains and things like that. I imagine they probably will pique an interest into some of that kind of stuff when you go through that there too.
So the modules this year sound a lot of fun. The name of the camp is Adventure.
Yeah.
And so it just, to me, these modules are like, oh, cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The kids, I guarantee what's going to happen is your kids are going to go to the camp, and then when they come home for dinner that night, they're going to be running 1,000-mile-an-hour telling you about how they made this cool fish tank or the robotic arm or any of these cool projects they get to work on this week or during that week, and that's going to be great because I think because that's what we want. We want these kids to come out there and then come home and tell you all about it and get and make it part of that family experience. So. I would love to encourage the families when the kids get home that night to incorporate and talk more about what they did that day, help cement those lessons in their brains a little bit by talking a little bit with them afterwards, and maybe even creating your own things based off that. You're like, oh, if you love that one, maybe this weekend we'll go out to the park and do this or something like that.
Right.
Use that to create maybe your own inspiration for your families to have some fun and do some educational fun activities, things like that.
Right. And we also, of course, during lunch, we have games. The kids eat lunch and then they go out for games, or they go out to games first and then eat lunch.
Okay.
But the games are organized play. So,
Gotcha.
I have my assistant director who's in charge of the games, and there's lessons, and they're fun. I mean, the kids are running around. They're outside as they should be.
Get a little active.
Getting the vitamin
energy.
D.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So when they get home, and after they talk to you about everything that's going on, they're so exhausted, they go to bed early, and the parents are like, score!
Yeah, and then you got a nice night of movie night or date night.
And
that's
right. That's right, because the kids are exhausted. I had especially the kinders and first. They're like, oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
But I'm really tired, Mom.
That's great. That's great. And hopefully, and I would imagine you're going to get a lot of, like, maybe the kids that joined as kindergartners now are going to come back as first, second graders.
Right.
And come back. And each year is new. So if you went last year, it's all new projects, all new program than it was last year. So, and it is like that every year. So if you went years past, a couple years ago, depending on what year you started, you start as a kindergarten, you go 6-7 years doing camp invention.
Right, and they're all different.
Yeah.
And what's nice is, with that being said, it's just fun to see the kids, if they did start in kindergarten, going through to sixth. It's like, okay, you've been here every year, because the kids love it, and they're, they want to come back.
Yeah, and I imagine a lot of them are your own advertisers for the program, where they go and they tell their friends, oh yeah, we went and made this thing, and like they're probably bringing some of their projects from last year to school and showing them off, some of the cars and things.
Or the microphone.
The microphone was one of them last year.
That was amazing.
That's kind of some of the cool stuff. Now, the camp, as Peggy said, will be June 6th through June 10th. The camp runs from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. that week of.
Right.
Like you said, cost before the discount is $255. Now, do they still do the extended camp for some families, if they'd like that as an option?
Right, and it starts at 7:30 and goes till 5:30.
Okay.
And it's an additional $80.
Yeah, that's additional $80.
You have to pay the person who's doing that.
Well, and they're also, but in all fairness, you're getting an extra 3-4 hours of curriculum kind of with the kids there.
Right.
It's a little less structured than the other, but as far as working on their projects, doing things that they probably didn't get to do during the day, they get to do that kind of stuff.
Well, there's actually some organized...
Okay, some extra activities that are part of that.
Extra activities, so they don't bring in what they had in the classrooms.
Gotcha.
But we don't have the extended day on the Friday afternoon.
Yeah, once it's done at 3:30, everybody's done.
We've got to clean up, and we stay pretty late to clean up.
Very good.
To make sure the facility is great.
Now, you heard us talk about discounts and things here. Early bird discounts, if those that sign up early do get advantages here. If you go to, I believe it's invent.org, right? Invent.org, that is the Camp Invention main website. Like Peggy said earlier, this is not just Roswell. They have camps all over the country. So it's a national, I believe it might even be international.
I think it's only national.
Just national. But
probably because of the cost of the boxes.
Yeah, I would imagine too. That could get. And I imagine
so many boxes.
Yeah, and I imagine supply and demand might get a little different when you leave our borders and things on what's available.
Right.
But if you go to invent.org and then you just type in there are things like find a camp near you, I think there's something like that.
Right.
You go and put in Roswell, New Mexico. You'll see all the information for the camp here at First United Methodist Church. And then when you go to sign up, if you use these offer codes, which we're about to tell you here, you can sign up here. I'm trying to look for the first one here. Is it
Explore 25?
Explore 25. There it is. Right
yeah,
there.
It's
Snake
pretty big.
I was looking wrong. So if you go to invent.org /camp, and then if you do it by the end of March here, you can save $25 using that Explore 25. You put that in the code. That'll knock $25 off of your cost for your camp. You can sign up all of that through online. Now,
or by calling the 800 number.
Yeah, or there's an 800 number that you can
800-968-4332.
Very good. Now, are you this year able to offer partial scholarships for folks again? Is that something you're
the green envelope? The green envelopes went out to our donors from the past.
Okay.
Just recently, but I had somebody send me a check. Before the green envelopes went out.
Okay.
Because for a donation for camp. I mean, that's how
they believe in it.
The public knows that I do Camp Invention every year.
Sure.
And so they're not hesitating.
They're
which
not
is
waiting
great.
for the notice.
No, the one these people did not.
That's awesome.
And people can donate online. It's easier if they contact me.
Sure.
Because then I can give them the code for our camp.
Yes.
Because if you just send money to Camp Invention or to National Inventors Hall of Fame, it'll go into the general pot.
Gotcha.
But if you have my camp code, then it'll go directly for my
Gotcha.
camp. Or I shouldn't say my camp,
but the Roswell camp
in
the kids in
Roswell.
You're helping all the camps if you go the other way. This one you're helping specifically for the local camp.
Right, which is good. Which is what we want.
and by the way, through the scholarships too, that Peggy handles that here locally through the thing. So if you need bigger discount than $25, need some more help there, we can do that. We can. We don't want money to be a hurdle here. We want opportunity for any kid that wants the opportunity to go. We're going to find a way to make that happen.
I do partial scholarships.
Yes.
I don't do full ride.
She will do a partial scholarship for you because, like you said in the past, you want a commitment from the family because if they invest in as well, that makes sure they're committed rather than you giving them because what tends to happen when you do full rides, and I'm not saying this happens every time, but it's not as important to the family, and they tend to not go. Like they do all the work and got him in, and then they don't show up or show up 1 or 2 days or something. We want kids there the entire time. We want them to invest in the entire program from day one till that Friday when they finish up camp. And we want them to spend every moment of that having fun, doing these projects, meeting new kids, making friends, doing all the things that camp's about. To get every moment of that. So that's why we want to make sure, hey, even, you will help them out as much as you can.
As much as I can, yes.
But you want them to have some skin in the game, too.
Right,
so,
right. Yeah. And I've been awfully generous, because I can be, because of the amount of people who donate money to Camp Invention.
So, folks, please keep coming in with the donations.
Keep coming in.
The more money that's donated, the more scholarships that she can give. And who knows, maybe we get to a point where we can help every single child that needs money or needs some assistance there. Thanks to the generosity of folks here. But
I've helped families with 3-4 kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I make it happen to make sure every kid gets to go.
And I can imagine that, you're a family with 3-4 kids and all 3 kids are in the age and go to that.
Yes.
That's a lot of money. That's, say 200 and some a pop. That's your $250 a pop. You spend almost $1,000 after all said and done here, depending on how many kids you have.
Right.
Yeah.
Although if you look at daycare or something else, it's pretty much the same cost.
You're right. And I guarantee you won't get the amount of program in daycare that you're going to get here. You may get a little, but nowhere near the level of what's happening here. It's structured camp from the moment they show up at the church to the moment they're going home with their parents.
Right. And I also, of course, need high school and college kids who can volunteer.
Yeah.
I need at least 10.
Okay.
And I don't have anyone at the moment committed.
So if you're interested, maybe you're pursuing degrees in social work or any of the science related stuff, and maybe
education.
Use this. Yeah, education. Any of these fields. Or you just want to get involved and help out. This is great experience there for those kids. So for those younger adults here, I should say. I say kids, but high school and college age students. Come out and be honest. This really will help you if you're really if you're a high school student and you're like, I want to go to college and do something engineering related or something. Maybe this will kind of cement that, or maybe you decide, this is not what I thought it was. I need to pursue a different angle or whatever. But either way, it's sure a lot easier to figure that out now versus 2 years into college when you spend a bunch of money and everything else.
Exactly.
So, but and of course the LITs, and that's for your 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. Sign up there. That's a little bit.
It's $100 cheaper.
Yeah, it's $100 cheaper on it, and then.
There's no scholarships for that. No partial scholarships for them.
Now, and you're in essence, you'll do some of the activities and things like the campers do.
Oh, yeah.
But you're also going to be expected to be a leader in the room. You're going to have to help maybe navigate some of the programs and help kids pass it out. Whatever. You kind of got to be kind of the leader in the room sometimes, and that's what the LITs are.
You're getting mentored by the teachers and by the leadership interns.
Yeah.
And leadership interns are the high school and college kids.
Gotcha.
So you're learning leadership skills.
Yeah. So then maybe in a year or two you can volunteer and be a full counselor.
Right.
What's the best way for the LIT? Can they sign up through the invent.org there?
They need to contact me as well because then I can give them, because they can't just sign up. I give them an actual site to go to.
Okay.
Where they sign up along with the volunteers I have.
The regular.
Along with the teachers. And I mean, there's a lot of people who are hired through this. So
And I imagine there's background checks and the whole nine that's done on those folks like that. So that's why that goes through a separate deal there. So,
yeah.
Gotcha. Which anytime you're dealing with kids, that's just 101 stuff. So
Right.
But again, please get signed up here, and probably, like I said, for the scholarships or LIT, call or email Peggy's probably the best way to get a hold of her or get that done. You can reach out 575-420-9955. Again, that's 575-420-9955, or email pbolin2016@gmail.com, and it's BOHLIN. If you're looking to spell Bolin there. And if you don't remember any of that, you can always call me and I'll give it to you, or shoot a message. Do you have a Facebook page for Camp Invention locally, or is it just the big website? Okay.
But it's, the big website really is the best.
Invent.org
Yes.
is the website.
Or just Google Camp Invention.
Yeah, that'll get you there too. And if you kind of want to do it like as a general cursory, what's this camp all about, and talk about the history behind it, the invent.org will definitely give you all that information, how this camp came to be, how it's grown over the years, and where it's at today and what it's doing.
We even have little YouTube videos about the modules.
Gotcha. It's really is cool. I don't care. I really don't care what your child's into. I think they're going to have fun doing this stuff. You know, even if they're if they're into crafts and arts and stuff, they're going to have a lot of fun there.
Right.
Even if they're into video gaming, and you know what I mean, that like they don't do, what do? They sit and play video games all day. There's going to be the right things in this program that's going to pique interest and have them, who knows? Maybe next thing you know, you've got a kid that comes out of this and they loved doing one of these projects so much that they start, building things or making their own models or creating their own, doing like things when we were kids, when you built stuff, or like model airplanes and stuff like that seemed like kids when I was growing up, all of us had at one point. Mm-hmm. Now you can't find one of those to save your life in a store. You know what I mean? And,
true.
And I think there's something to those kinds of projects and those kinds of, because they center on creativity, they on you working on something that's your own thing. And I think they gain a lot of that aspect here through this stuff too.
Definitely.
Yeah. So again, Camp Invention is June 6th through 10th. You got a little time. What's the drop dead? I know you'll take kids up too, but ideally, what's like that final date you want to make sure all your registrations are in by?
The week before would be ideal.
Okay.
Because that's when we are getting the groups. That's when we have to call, get a hold of all the parents. I send emails telling what group their kids are going to be in. Okay. I mean, it's push at the very end. I mean, if somebody wants to try to come and register their kid the day of, I have a feeling because of the fact that now the mask mandate's gone and things are more relaxed and it looks like, COVID is kind of I don't think it'll ever go away, but at least it's not like,
it's not,
people aren't freaking out about it.
State anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that we're going to get a whole lot of people signing up, and the earlier the better, because when we reach our cap, which is 140 kids, which sounds like a lot right now,
but it goes quick. I mean, that'll fill up
that
quick.
Isn't even a full elementary school. I mean, if you think about it, that's like 3 grades worth of one elementary school.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get those kids, it's done. We are not taking more
And you can't
students.
make any more. It's just
nope.
That's the parameters.
That's where I'm cutting it off.
And I would imagine too, if you'd like one of the partial scholarships, the sooner you apply, the easier it is to make that happen.
Yeah.
So, because what the idea is, we've got some great benefactors that have made donations already. Hopefully, we'll get more people to keep that continuing.
Right.
But when it dries up, it dries up. So
right, exactly. And I've been lucky every year.
Yeah, you've been very lucky. That hasn't been a problem yet, but
no.
At some point it might be, and we want to make sure everybody that wants it has that opportunity. The sooner, the better you do that. So.
Right. And I really try to help every person, because circumstances change for everybody every year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, one year you're in the green, or in the black, sorry, in the green, and another year you're in the red.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, you don't know what's going to happen.
Life happens.
Life happens, exactly.
Absolutely. And again, of course, if you want to sign up through the website, invent.org/camp, and then you get to look, it'll say find a camp near you, put Roswell NM. And then when you fill out your application, there's going to be a spot to put in an offer code. If you put in Explore 25, and you do that before the end of March 31st, you'll save $25 off the total camp fee, and that's through the website. That's not having to call Peggy. If you want to do it on your own, sign up through there. You can do it right through that Explore 25. But if you want the partial scholarships that are more than $25, you need to get a hold of Peggy direct. Also, if you're interested in being an LIT, 7th, 8th, and 9th graders that want to be a part of this, you need to call Peggy.
No,
direct.
LITs, they can just
go
sign
right
up.
to the
Yep,
camp.
yep, because
Counselors
there's
and
nothing
stuff,
I
they
can
need to
help.
go. Gotcha.
I can't help with the LITs at all.
Okay.
So the parents need to sign up.
So you need to go to event.org for that.
Right.
Counselors, volunteers need to go call you direct.
Right,
That's my
right.
mistake there.
And if anybody wants to donate to Camp Convention, any new people that we're not getting the green envelopes to, they can call me. It's probably the best.
Yeah.
Call me or email me and say, hey, where can I send this money?
Absolutely.
And I do not from anybody take cash.
Yep.
It's always check, money order, or credit card.
Makes sense. Keep it
above board.
Exactly. That way there's a paper trail for everything.
That's right.
Absolutely. And again, if you need the partial scholarships, want to volunteer, or like to come by with a big suitcase full of checks or money orders, you can reach out to Peggy.
Totally okay with that.
Reach out to Peggy at 575-420-9955. Again, 575-420-9955, or shoot her an email, pbolin, BOHLIN 2016 at gmail.com.
And I do want to mention any amount towards scholarships, any donations are great, because we've had it from $25 to $1,000.
Yeah, every little bit will help.
Every little bit counts.
Yeah,
because it just adds up.
Absolutely. So and it all get used. Whether and even if all the money for this year doesn't get used, it rolls over to next year, and they'll use that money for scholarships for next year. So have no worry. Every single penny that you donate will go to make sure a kid can enjoy Camp Convention this year. So
yes, that's my plan.
Good deal. Is there anything we missed?
I don't think so. I think we got everything.
Okay. And then, of course, invent.org is the website. www.invent.org/camp is the direct sign up, I think. But if you go to invent.org, you can learn everything about Camp Invention, including what's on tap for this year's, but just the whole history of it and everything else.
Right. And people need to contact me sooner than later.
Yeah.
So that we can figure this out.
I figure if you're waiting until May time frame, you might already missed out on your opportunity. Now I know it's end of February here, and you're thinking June's a long time away. But,
right.
But right now
I wouldn't
is the
wait
sweet
too
spot.
long.
Yeah, and like I said, to take advantage of the $25 discount through the website, you got to get that done before the end of March.
Right, exactly.
Otherwise, that opportunity goes away for
exactly.
you too. So very good. Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate the visit as always.
Thank you.
And of course, if you have any question about stuff, you're in the library from time to time too when you're out and about. So you always pop in there and see her working doing STEM related stuff. She'll be happy to help you with that stuff too. So she's always got STEM on the brain.
Yes, always. It seems to be, man. And my brain stem and everything.
That's right. She's got her brain on the stem and stem on the brain. So. Thank you, Peggy, as always.
All right,
we'll see you next time.
All right.
All right, it is 9:51. Let's do a quick update with news, Hannity, and commercial break before we go. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. A Carlsbad man who was arrested for a disturbing rape in a convenience store now has more charges filed against him. Kenneth Miller is charged with kidnapping and attempted armed robbery after he was originally charged with rape, robbery, and larceny. Police allege that Miller went on a crime spree the night of February 13th along Pierce Street, ending at the convenience store, where a SWAT team had to fish him out of the store when the woman he was raping escaped and called for help. In court, a preliminary hearing is scheduled today for a man accused of 7 counts of human trafficking in Roswell. 53-year-old Jose Pena is being held on a $25,000 bond after his arrest earlier this month during a traffic stop. A sheriff's deputy reported that 7 passengers were hiding in Pena's minivan. They admitted to being in the country illegally and said that Pena had been hired to take illegal workers to various work sites every day. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
This is what you get when you have a weak American president. This is what you get
when America, how many times have you heard me say, energy is the lifeblood of the world's economy? And I've said that because it is just a fact. It is simple truth. And we should have figured out the means to get that energy to our Western European allies so that we didn't have to otherwise push them right into the arms of this madman that feels that Ukraine, and God only knows, he may wake up one morning and feel other territorial ambitions belong to Mother Russia, and maybe dreaming of the day when he can unite the former Soviet Union again.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Cash Call Mortgage is a DBA of Impact Mortgage Corp. NMLS ID 128231. Not all applicants will qualify. Equal housing lender. Licensed by California Department of Financial Protection and Innovation. Residential Mortgage Lending Act license number 4131083. Not licensed in all states including New York. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions. Or visit cashcallmortgage.com.
Are you being denied a home loan or refi because you're a 1099 employee, self-employed, or a real estate investor? It can be frustrating, but it doesn't have to be, thanks to Cash Call Mortgage. At Cash Call Mortgage, we'll take the time to understand you and your income flow. Using 1099 income, rental income, and bank statements, you could qualify for a home mortgage or refi at a lower rate. So if you're being turned down for a home loan or refi because you're self-employed, a 1099 earner, or a real estate investor, instead of hearing denied, you could be hearing approved. To see if you qualify, visit cashcallmortgage.com or call now, 800-931-6022. That's 800-931-6022. 800-931-6022.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Pretty mild today, but we'll be cooling off tomorrow with a cold front rolling through eastern New Mexico. In the meantime, about 70 on our afternoon high. It'll be breezy, and we should get plenty of sunshine. Overnight, that cold front drops in with our low around 30 and a few clouds. Then we're back to sunshine on Wednesday, but it will be quite a bit cooler and breezy, our high near 50. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Well, it was a night of hoops for the Goddard Rockets in Hagerman last night as Goddard and Artesia played to decide who would be the top seed in the district tournament, which starts tonight, by the way. Well, unfortunately for Goddard, it's going to be Artesia. Artesia opened up a 10-point lead at halftime of that ball game last night. Goddard came back towards the end and cut it to 3 at the very end, but Artesia wins 76-73. Noah Reese had 26 points for the Rockets. Jarek Mendoza had 16. So what's next for Goddard? Well, now they're the second seed in the district tournament, and they will play the winner of the Portales-Lovington game. Remember, Lovington was part of the three-way tie. That game is tonight at 6 o'clock in Lovington. The Sports Report is brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Greg Clugston. U.S. consumer confidence declined modestly this month, but remains high, even as prices for just about everything continue to rise. The Conference Board Index, which takes into account consumers' assessment of current conditions and their outlook for the future, was down slightly. Earlier this month, the Labor Department reported that for the 12 months ending in January, inflation hit 7.5%. The fastest year-over-year pace since 1982. A sizzling housing market continues to be good news for the Home Depot. Sales remained strong in its fourth quarter. Last year's Home Depot sales climbed 8.1%. Germany announced today it is suspending its Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline from Russia because of Moscow's recent military moves against Ukraine. It's a decision that will affect the global energy industry. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Greg Clugston.
Pecans are a big deal here in Chavez County. We have some of the biggest orchards in the country, and lots of us have pecan trees in our yards. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Whether you have one pecan tree or 1,000 of them, this time of year, every pecan tree needs fertilizing. So come see us at Roswell Seed Company, and we'll get you fixed up with the right fertilizer for your pecan trees, so that next year, your nuts will be big and beautiful. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
ENMU Roswell offers high school students the opportunity to get a head start on their college education journey into healthcare. Through the Allied Health Careers Pathway, high school learners can enroll in dual credit courses that introduce them to a wide range of careers that include emergency medical technician, paramedic, nursing, occupational therapy, respiratory therapy, medical assisting, phlebotomy, and nursing assistant. Start your healthcare career path at ENMU Roswell. Contact your high school counselor for more information.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Time to double up and save at Roswell Honda.
Double your refund.
That's right. Roswell Honda wants to double up your tax refund up to $4,000 towards your next vehicle. And with clearance prices across the lot, you can walk in, double up, and drive away today in a 2014 Yukon for just $379 a month, a 2014 Civic for just $249 a month, or a 2017 Escape for just $199 a month. Zero down, no payments for 4 months, free AirPods with a test drive, and double your refund.
Time to double up.
On now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd. It's time to stock up on beef. Do it the most affordable way by buying a whole or half beef from Runyon Cattle. A whole beef feeds a family of 4 for nearly a year. Buy your meat in bulk for about $6 a pound. Skip the store and skip the wait lines. Beef isn't something that you should have to wait on. Stock up on New Mexico homegrown grass-fed and grass-finished beef today by calling Lisa with Runyon Cattle at 760-5655. That's 760-5655. Delivered to your home freezer.
Hi, Roswell. I'm Guy Malone, candidate for mayor. Welcome to my non-mudslinging